You don't smoke those every day?
No, I should definitely don't every day. It's just like, it's treat them like cigarettes. If you're gonna have a cigarette on the weekend when you're drinking, you can have a little bit of that. If you just start doing it every day, it gets really crazy. It's not good.
What about people that just putt not just every day, but all day, every day?
That's super unhealthy.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's terrible. Okay, is camera on?
Yeah, both are on right now.
Okay, yeah, all right, Skybunker episode 16. All right, jump on in, guys, go ahead.
Well, first things first, tell me about this new vaporizer.
Okay, let's talk about ashwagandha for a second.
Oh yeah, this guy fucking loves ashwagandha.
Okay, so I started doing ashwagandha because I heard it like, I don't know.
What's that?
Ashwagandha, it's like it's a cortisol blocker. So at first I'm like, this seems like voodoo, this isn't gonna work. But then Andrew Huberman's podcast was talking about how it actually works pretty effectively. Cheers. Yeah, so I started doing it. First day I did it, like it's the weirdest feeling ever. I got up, had a coffee, hit a vape, and then did the ashwagandha all at once. And it was like I couldn't feel stress for like 10 hours straight in my brain.
What is it, like a pill or a
It's like an herbal supplement, and it's like $15 for like 60. It's dirt cheap, so it's like
healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it is healthy,
Yeah,
but you
healthy.
also there's a prescribed way of using it. You don't want to basically use it over a certain period of time.
So what would you use it for? Why did they make it?
It's stress management, and it's also an adaptogen, so it helps your brain. It helps your brain like sort of like adjust the stress levels over time.
So when you have like that 20 seconds of anxiety that determines if you're going to do something that's not good for you or fight through it and not do it, it calms down that anxiety, so you don't have that agitation, and you can kind of think clearly.
Yeah.
It like completely blocks it. So it made me realize like how stressed out I've been for the last 6 months, because when I was on it, I was like, wow, this is what it's like to get up and do your job every day with zero stress in your brain, which is the next level. And like, you know, I'm
like a tea or?
It's just a pill. And like, so I was doing it, and then and also the sleep I had on it was next level. I had like this super restful sleep.
Yeah.
It makes you like super relaxed, and then you wake up with so much energy, and you're like, whoa, like you know. And apparently people in India do this stuff every day of their whole lives.
Yeah, ashwagandha is an evergreen shrub that grows in Asia and Africa. It is commonly used for stress. There is little evidence for its use as an adaptogen, as ashwagandha contains chemicals that might help calm the brain, reduce swelling, lower blood pressure, and alter the immune system. Since ashwagandha is traditionally used as an adaptogen, it is used for many conditions related to stress. Adaptogens are believed to help the body resist physical and mental stress. Some of the conditions it's used for include insomnia, aging, anxiety, and many others. But there is no good scientific evidence to support most of these uses. There is also no good evidence to support using ashwagandha.
You know what, they say it's not scientific, but Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist at freaking Stanford, had a podcast where he talks about it, and he was actually citing all the things. I'll take what he said for it. He said there is scientific evidence to say it does actually help you, right? And
well, that's like when they say that there's CBD oil, there's no scientific evidence.
I think we actually do have quite a bit of evidence that it actually does.
I think this goes back to like the issue with medical studies and the fact that they actually have to be funded by private entities. Private entities like Big Pharma probably has no interest in like.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, because it's not. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
So I tried that shit. I'd recommend it. It's pretty dope. But it also made me want to like try other nootropics. It made me want to try lion's mane, and maybe want to try like GABA and like Kava, and like there's like 10 different ones that you can kind of hack through. And so yeah, ashwagandha is pretty dope. And I haven't felt stressed out in like I haven't felt stress molecules in my brain in like 2 days now.
What do you mostly get stressed out from?
It's like work stressful. You get on there, clients are talking to you, you have deadlines. Like I work in animation. Animation is fucking stressful. So it's like you get on there and like clients are like this and that, and I'm kind of reading it and I'm just like, can't hurt me, man. It's like you have the fucking like matrix shield. You see all the bullets flying at you. The bullets just stop. You're just like, this is next level. Like if I could just do my whole life this way, you know.
Would you say it would make you a bit more stoic?
It's like beyond stoic, like you can't like feel stress, but you can feel the other emotions though. You can still feel happiness, and it just like really chills you out, but it doesn't like numb you down. It's not like clonazepam or something like that. It's almost just like it just helps your brain. It's almost like helps your brain digest the stress instead of like accumulating in your body.
Okay.
Like, that's the best way I can. Instead of like the stress oxidizing your body and like killing you with free radicals, it just helps you digest the stress.
So instead of like experience the stress and then like cognitively assigning meaning and value to it, and then like internalizing that meaning and value you assign to it, you just kind of let it pass through like something that it just does. It's happening, you're observing it, but you're not getting attached to it, and then it just passes through and you go on. That's what I'm hearing.
It almost doesn't even like pass through. It's almost like blocked from entering your mind completely. Because normally I get like the negative thoughts, and then like the negative thoughts start coming, and then I start having anxiety about like 50 years in the future. And then what's happening now is that those voices are all just gone. It's this could be a placebo effect. I don't know. Just last 2 days, I recommend people try this shit. A lot of people try it. It doesn't work.
If it's a placebo and you feel better, then I guess it's not a placebo.
That or they're just not stressed out enough, like because last 6 months I've been like really stressed out, so maybe I had so much stress accumulated in my body that the ashwagandha just like gave me a reset button. this is like a stronger reset button than a vacation because I thought I really needed a vacation.
Wow.
And then I did this and I'm like, no, this is definitely stronger than a vacation. This is like a chemical altering in my brain. So like now I'm like obsessed with nootropics. I want to try all of them.
With nootropics?
Yeah.
I've been on nootropics for a while actually.
It's like supplements to hack your brain.
Yeah, supplements that help your brain. So there's some that basically like help you like focus more. Some that give you a bit more energy. Some that are supposed to be a bit more clear-minded. So I've been like I guess like microdosing mushrooms for like a year now, but like nothing ridiculous. Not like psilocybin. I've been doing like
You doing lion's mane?
yeah, lion's mane, chaga, reishi. I do Tangat Ali. I
want to get on Tonga Ali.
Tangat Ali's solid.
But I heard it like boost your testosterone really fucking
Yeah,
great.
it does.
I'm actually gonna try this shit out.
Yeah, Tangat. I was doing chaga does too.
Oh, yeah.
Chaga,
You can
yeah.
get that on trees.
Yeah.
You know, like when you walk in the forest and you see like a nice tree and it's got like this kind of brownish growth on it.
Yeah.
That's actually chaga and it's
for real?
super healthy. Yeah.
Damn,
I'm
I
not
didn't know.
talking about the burling or
Yeah.
like, I'm talking about they're like these black kind of growths. They often, you find them on birch trees.
Yeah.
If you actually come across that and you chop it off the tree,
Yeah.
you put it on a tea, that's like one of the most potent antioxidants in the world. Chaga directly, well that's what chaga is, directly from a tree. So you don't have to, you can just go like take a walk in the forest and probably find some chaga.
You know?
It's super healthy, super antioxidant rich, and it's not, you don't see it often, but if you go in the forest, you'll eventually find it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. You know what else I'm really happy about right now? I feel like the city is in a really good state, like emotionally, not economically. But I feel like, the Leafs are doing well right now. It's the furthest they've ever been in the playoffs. Summer is getting warmer. People are coming back downtown. It's getting busy. The bars are getting full. Everyone's in a good sort of vibe right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good feel.
There's so many parties happening now. I can't even go to the mall. Like the amount of parties. Like you know what's funny? They're not nightclub parties. Although so many parties that are happening there are just kind of like events. Or kind of like they're just getting a space. Even tonight there was a bunch of invites. I was like, oh man, people are like kind of actively trying to promote and get people together again.
Yeah, this is huge now.
Instead of like the nightclubs just dominating. But I went to some nightclubs last night, and it just made me realize like, dude, like it's like I went to lobby and it's like. It's almost like university students, like everyone's really young, and this I know I've gotten older because I'm in there and like the drinks are like really expensive or just not great. Like I'm not diss lobby, but like in the music, it's for like, university students.
Of course.
And I'm just like,
when
I'm
you've
old.
done it a million times, it's not fun. All those guys and girls, they've done it, but not as many times as say you. So it's like
For
it's
sure.
new. Anything that's somewhat new is exciting, right?
Yeah.
But you know exactly what's
It's
gonna
like
happen.
it's like the novelty is completely worn off.
Yo,
for me, I guess.
I'll give you the perfect analogy for me is that I would never want to relive my first year of university, but that was probably like from like a sensory and like for like perception, the fucking most extreme year for me. Because I came from like a very like conservative like fucking traditional house too. So and then I started playing varsity football, right? So it's like the craziest shit at once, like, and you're so young, you're not used to being out all the time. It's just the craziest fucking experience, but I know for a fact that you can't relive that because it's just
So
obviously.
what makes you excited now these days? What gives you that feeling that you are describing where it's crazy new? What maybe something that has happened, something that hasn't happened, something that you would like to happen? What would give you that feeling of grandeur and excitement?
Well, to be honest, like starting a business has been very fulfilling. Although it's been very difficult, but at the same time, the wins you get are like you feel so fucking good. Like just the littlest things. Even obviously I have like the digital marketing lead generation thing. Whenever you like locked on a client meet and then you get onto a call and the call went really well, that feels so good after you feel like you have superpowers.
Yeah.
When you send out a contract, that feels really fucking good.
Yeah.
When you follow up and somebody's telling you, oh, you have a good product, I want to buy, that feels amazing. Even things like right now, like getting the podcast out, finding a new application to make it better, and all of these little things now are actually attributing to my dopamine rush, right? Which I think is a lot more positive. And honestly, it's funny because it really does have to do with the fact that I started a business. I'm an entrepreneur. Because when I was working in the corporate world, although basically it was safer, technically speaking, you think it's a better lifestyle, it just wasn't. It was honestly killing my fucking soul. And actually, it's funny because the whole ashwagandha thing, the one thing that worries me, right? And I was having a conversation with somebody about stoicism too. I find like the way I operate in life, I think like I'm a very aggressive person, right? And on some level, I feel like I have to be because the scenarios where I have to get what I need to get out of a scenario, and if I don't push for my needs, I'm not gonna get it, right? But there's obviously like a line where there's a diminishing effect on returns, right? So that's why I'm interested in it because I just want to make sure it doesn't like emotionally numb me, right? Because I feel like that would fuck me over. Because there was a long period of time where that's what we did, sort of, to be honest. We'd sort of just
I think weed also has this like really kind of like complacent effect to it. It makes you really one of my friends said like weed just makes you like really like kind of lose all your conscientiousness. That's what like that's
it
what
makes you lose motivation. It's like you're like, oh, I really wanted to do this, then you blaze and you're like, I don't really care, this is fine.
Like when I was like a huge stoner, like I was so lazy to like do chores, like cook, clean, like just do like should I have to do shit? Like that's not really
it's
like
exhausting, especially if you're smoking indica. That just puts you right on the couch.
In the couch, yo.
How can you function, right? Can't touch that shit.
And then,
if I'm gonna smoke weed, only sativa.
Yeah.
And no hybrids, no mix. Straight sativa.
I'm trying to do like productivity drugs that like make me want to do shit, and like while I'm doing it, like if I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, I'm doing like kind of boring shit, but I feel like really good when I'm doing it, and I'm like motivated because then it gives you the motivation to do the shit you really don't want to do. Like the things that sometimes move the needle in your life are the things that you really like. Are usually like the hardest things that you really, really, really don't want to do. Like for me,
the little tiny things that you really don't want to do, but adding them up, they're the most important.
They give it's usually like for some people, for example, like I have some friends studying for like the CFA, for example, like that's just it's boring and it's tiring. I don't know anyone who actually enjoys studying that type of stuff.
Everyone hates the CFA.
But you need to do it.
CFA?
Yeah, it's the certified financial advisor. Yes, but it's a 3-year process, and it's really tiring and boring. But you have to do it. And it's just a massive chore that takes 3 years. And like I don't think anyone really enjoys doing that type of shit. I don't think anyone enjoys studying for it. It's just
you
a
know
chore.
Advisors, like 80% of them don't make it past the first year.
I'm not surprised because it's really tiring. It's really exhausting. That's why I have a couple of friends who passed it, and I'll honestly give it to them. I'm like, that's like doing your master's. Honestly,
But more so, they think they're just gonna show up and sell to business owners.
Yeah, it's because you need to be a salesperson too.
Like, it's not, you provide, I can help you do this and that. It's like, sure, but do you know how to have sales conversations? Do you know how to uncover pain in the first 2 minutes of the conversation to find out if the probability of this client even going anywhere? And that's what most 99% of salespeople do. They get some indication of interest, so they go and start presenting on all the great things that they can do when they missed too many steps. They didn't find out what the problems were. They didn't find out why these problems exist. They didn't find out. They didn't quantify. It's like, and your fucking point. We already knew that, bro, sis. We already knew that.
Well,
so what can you do for me? I can do this, and that for you. But how do you know that? How do you know that you can do that for me? You didn't ask me any questions. You didn't take me down a consultative, trusted advisor route. You just tried to sell me shit so that you could make a sale. And for that, I don't trust your ass. And now, because you did that, 99% of every other salesperson does that, I don't trust salespeople. So that's why salespeople get a bad rep, because they are they speak in a self-serving communication style. And you can be taught to not talk in that way, but 99% of salespeople speak that way, and they don't mean to. They don't mean to, right? That's just how they were trained. That's just how we learn throughout time. But it's actually completely ineffective.
So what do you think is the most integral, okay, like if you were to think of one, let's say, I don't want to say soft skill, but I want to say if you were to think of like one sociable skill that is absolutely necessary for a salesperson, what do you think that would be?
The ability to be comfortable asking questions without giving information away.
Yeah, I think that's key. Actually, I agree with you.
Being comfortable setting upfront contracts at the beginning of the meeting with the client, stating what is on the agenda for the call, and discussing possible outcomes. And the possible outcome could be a no fit. But salespeople dance around that. They try to do everything to convince, persuade. But there's a possibility that there may not be a fit between what you do and the person needs. So why not just voice that? Because if you don't voice that, at the end of the call, maybe they're too nice to say no, they're not interested, because you're really trying to make that sale. So now you end up having to chase this person and trying to get an answer to them because they said they were interested, all the while because they were too nice to say no because you were too pushy and coercive.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And that only makes you, the salesperson, waste time chasing someone that was never really going to buy. But because the salesperson was using manipulation, persuasion, trying to convince, trying to talk about how great they are, what they can do for them, right? They didn't uncover the real problems that the prospect was facing. Therefore, they never even ended up discussing the problems that the prospect needs help fixing. So you just wasted fucking time. You just wasted everyone's time. because you may have a solution, but because you didn't uncover the real problem the prospect was having, they now think that you can't fix their problem because you were just talking about all the shit that you're going to do. So now they're going to go to the competitor, someone who's actually good at asking questions and treating them like a trusted advisor rather than a salesperson, to try to actually help them see if they are in a position, willing, readiness, ability, money, time, resources to buy, before they actually start putting on presentations trying to convince and persuade. Then you're going to ask, well, how, if I don't put on a presentation, how are they going to know what I need? Well, how are you going to put on a presentation if you don't know what they need? It's like walking into a doctor's office and saying, oh, Mr. Doctor, my arm hurts. So now the doctor says, okay, well, take this, I'm going to prescribe it, and here's your prescription. Well, they didn't do any assessment, they didn't do any CAT scan, they didn't ask them any questions, they didn't find out what the problem was, how long that's been an issue, what they tried to do about that, did that work? They didn't ask any of those questions. They just prescribed a solution without confirming that. And if that happened in a doctor's office, that's called negligence, and they should lose their practice. And the same thing goes with salespeople. If you're just talking out of your ass trying to convince people that you're so great, this and that, good luck, because people can sniff that out a mile away. And the agenda will go from, let's see how Justine can help me, to let's see how much free information Justine can give me without committing.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, if they're doing that to you, you ask them to pay you to consult, like a bare minimum, like pay like this 1 hour is $100. and if you don't harm me, that's okay, but it's like $100.
That's called a monkey's paw, because if they're willing to pay that shows their levels of commitment.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start moving towards that direction, because I'll ask you this question. Yeah. Let's say you do ask a potential client a question, right, and they give you an answer. Like, let's say, hey, like, I'm really good at closing, but my issue is I can't get leads in, right? So you're like, great. That's what I can do. That's your pain point. I can help you out with that, right?
But how do you know they can do that? How do you know they can afford it? How do you know that they have the time to implement it? How do you know that they have the willingness, the money, time, resources? How do you know they're not already getting 2-3 other quotes and they're just trying to get your quote to see if they can price shop around? How do you know all that? So, just because someone says they're interested doesn't mean they're actually going to pay you.
Yeah. So how would you go about discovering like those questions?
Well, there's a whole process, but it starts by sell first, provide solutions later. So it goes by you're going to need to ask them questions to find out what their problem is. So first you need to uncover the problem. Then you need to uncover something called their budget, right? So the budget is not just money, but it's time. Do they have the time to implement change? Willingness. Are they willing to leave their lead generation company that they're already working with and come to you? Ability to change. Do they even have the manpower to implement the processes that you are suggesting? Willingness, right? Money, time, willingness. Like, just because they have the money and have the time, is this something that they really want to invest in, right? So then you figure out that out. And let's say they confirmed all that, they're still not confirmed that you should be putting on a presentation. It's still not confirmed that you should put on a presentation.
Yeah.
So now you need to find out their decision-making process.
Yeah.
So let's say you confirm that they have the time, the money, and the resources. Now you need to understand their decision-making process. What are all the steps that need to happen from right now to the point where it's actually being implemented? The who, the what, the when, the where, the why, the how. All that's guided out, because you could say, this looks like we could really help you, but then once you go through the timeline process, you may realize that you can't actually implement it in the time that they want, or they can't change from their incumbent in time for you to actually implement it. Or maybe you're talking to the non-decision maker and they need to go and talk to Joe Blow, Sally Sue before they can actually give you an answer, yes, we should continue talking, right? So, and then let's say you do confirm decision. At that point, they just closed themselves and you didn't even put on a presentation, because they literally just told you all the things that they need to see, who does what, when, where, why, how, when it needs to happen. So they're literally designing the quote for you. You're not putting it together any quota proposal. They are making the proposal right in these sales conversations. So you want to get to the point where they are telling you all the things that they need to see, all the things that need to happen, all that shit, before you even present anything to them.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Otherwise, you can get caught, trying to convince, trying to persuade, chasing people, not getting commitment, trying to chase, they ghost you, all these things, right? So, and that's probably because you did not confirm pain enough, you did not confirm budget enough, and you did not confirm decision-making process. You got some little semblance of pain, problem, and then you went straight to presentation. But you missed all these steps. But right, people don't want to be sold something. They want to come make sure that whatever they're purchasing, they made the decision. It's not that they were sold. No one likes to be sold anything. It's a shitty feeling and people will avoid it. So how you combat that is by being like a consultant, where you're not trying to sell them, you're asking all the questions. You're like a doctor in the doctor's office.
Is it almost like a therapist, like a sales therapist, but pretty much?
Well, like a doctor.
Yeah.
You're
Almost
trying
like
to prescribe their problem.
Yeah, you're like a doctor. So you're asking them all the questions, you're getting all these confirmations before you even suggest anything. Because how the fuck could you know? Just because you help similar people like this doesn't mean you can help them.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I totally agree with you.
And to just jump in a call and say, oh, I could definitely help you. Okay, let's see all the free information. Oh, sure, OT. Oh, you can help me? Show me how you can help me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great, OT. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
Everything. I want to see it all. Show me what you do, how you do it, all, how much it costs, what you do, how you do it, when it can be done by, what tools you use, all the great things that you do. You're literally telling me all this shit without me committing to anything. So why the fuck would I pay you when you literally just gave me the solution?
Yeah.
I'm going to go take this solution that you just told me about, and I'm going to go find someone else that can do it for half the price.
Or try to do it themselves.
Try to do it themselves.
If they can do it for like half the price, because like if you're good at your job, they probably should not.
Probably should.
Yeah, but
probably
hold on
should
a
not
sec.
go do your shit.
Let's say they are able to find someone that can do it for half the price.
Then you just lost a bid war. That's life.
Right, but at the same time, that person that can do it for half the price probably isn't doing it as well as OT. So not only do you lose out with the sale, but the prospect also gets fucked over because they went by price and their problem is still not solved. Because they went by with a cheaper price and their problem is still not solved.
I've had people hire, one of the contracts I'm on right now, the guy hired 20 people before he hired me. And when he arrived to me, I said for the amount of money you spent on 20 guys, you could have hired me like multiple times.
Yeah.
And got it done like right the first time.
Right.
You know, so like I've seen that happen. So you know, it's like buy it once, buy it right, like buy it twice, pay the price.
Right.
Pay it twice. Can't remember.
Maybe twice, cut once. So okay, so
Yeah.
I've changed my pitch in one significant way, and I found it's actually really changed the nature of my conversations. I find a lot of other lead generation firms pigeonhole themselves by giving it a guarantee off rip, i.e., I'll get you a meeting a day by month 3.
Oh,
right?
that's such bullshit.
Yeah, such bullshit. So what I ask basically is that, like, in an ideal world, okay, you have a marketing budget.
Mm-hmm.
What KPIs do you need by month 3 to validate the expense?
Mm-hmm.
And I find that's completely changed the nature of my conversation,
That's good.
right? Because basically it's like, okay, well,
It's like saying, what do you need to see from me? in
Exactly.
order- That's great.
yeah, so it's because it'll be like, hey, okay, well, I'm doing a raise for 250K, and I'm going to dedicate part of that budget into marketing, and I need to, in 3 months, get to 30 to 50 service requests per day.
Right.
How do we do that? How do we get there? Or can
Right.
you do that? Or how?
Right.
Right. So like,
So it's instead of you, I'll do this for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get them to tell you exactly what they need?
yeah, and then even expanding on things.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm a terrible liar, right? So I specialize in B2B. B2C, honestly, like I've gotten good at it now, but not my competency, right? So we'll even have those conversations about, hey, let's talk more about your business. Who are your clientele? Who are you going after, right? And I think, yeah, by going through a discovery process, you're right. I think there's obviously still more I need to learn. I think you're flawless at what you do.
Well, I'm not flawless, but I am following a repeatable, duplicatable, transferable sales process.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why I actually say the same thing in my pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, upgraded, scalable, replicable, all that kind of,
Yeah, but no one's gonna give a shit. Like
Yeah.
if you say that, you're wasting words. Because no one gives a fuck about what you do. They want to know about how you can help them. And the only way that they can get confirmation of how you can help them is by asking really good fucking questions.
So have you seen the Apple TV show Spirited?
No.
So it's like Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, I've seen the ads. It looks hilarious.
So this is actually really interesting scene where they're doing a musical, but he's sort of just explaining some really fundamental marketing principles.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, he says that people are lazy, self-centered, and desperate.
Okay.
Right? On top of that, people are also very tribal. It's not just enough for you to get someone to love you, you got to get them to hate your competitor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because
right.
they're doing it in a musical and it sounds like
The
it's really,
incumbent.
yeah, it sounds really
The person that they're working with now,
Yeah.
that they're not happy with, or the competitor.
Yeah. So that's basically what you're talking about, pain points. Hey, the provider you're using right now, what are the issues you're having with them?
Right.
Right? Like why
That's
are you,
surface, but yes, surface pain, but yes.
Yeah, why are you having a conversation with me? You already have somebody that's doing this for you, so like why did you reach out to me? Right? No, I think that's very valuable.
Yeah, so you want to find their problems. Not only do you want to find their problems, you want to find out the reason for the problem. Like, why is this problem existing? And then finally, you want to find out the impact, like the quantitative impact that this problem has on their bottom line. And until you get like confirmation that there is a quantitative impact, you're not moving from pain, right? Because the first step is you need to confirm that this is a big enough issue, that it's costing them revenue, and they don't currently have solutions, or whatever solution they've used, they're not working, or they've, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first step. And even if they do have that situation, you're still not ready to present. You need to confirm budget. Just because they have the problem doesn't mean that they have the time, the money, the willingness, the resources, or the ability to fix this problem.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing now too for me. Honestly, like, I'm trying to get out of the way immediately. Yo, do you have the money to spend right now, or are you just fucking wasting my time? Because that's the biggest thing for me now too. Like booking meetings is great. There's a couple of things actually. The first thing.
But it's not just money, because you need to be able to communicate value in a way so that they understand the value of the money. Because oftentimes, remember, when people make purchases, it's not usually
price. It's value.
Yeah, like it's not price. It's your ability to communicate value in a way that resonates them.
Yeah.
In a way that's personal and customized to their problems.
Yeah.
So do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long.
Yeah.
That's the term. Yeah.
It's funny because even on the topic of confidence, I think that was one of the biggest challenges I had when I started this thing, because I didn't have initially I didn't have the confidence even when I was getting on the meeting, like getting on the call.
That's common.
But I've realized now that basically if somebody books a meeting with me, they already believe I'm competent enough to do the job. Otherwise, they would not be wasting their fucking time on the call.
That's your
right?
own head trash telling you. It's totally normal with even people that've been in the business for 20 years. It's actually called the dummy curve. People that have been in the business for longer, they get more anxiety speaking to people because they know more, so that they think they should know more. So they get more. Oftentimes, they'll get more anxiety speaking to customers.
Is that how like people who don't play poker well actually are pretty decent because you can't read them at all?
I don't play poker, so.
So there's an aspect of like people who really professional poker players know how to read people, right?
Okay.
But if you play an idiot who doesn't know how to play the game, it's impossible to read.
Right.
Them. Yeah.
Right.
Because they don't know the scenario that they're in.
Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, I think there's definitely it's almost like the lucky hand or whatever. But yeah, no, I definitely get that. But so another thing in terms of confidence too, I'm actually just gonna 2x all my prices on my website. I've realized, honestly, because like.
So sometimes sometimes I don't even post prices. I usually like a bare minimum engagement price. But sometimes I don't even post prices because some will come through with a really big budget, and then you pretty much just underballed yourself. They say there's like three types of customers. There's like the price conscious customer, the customer who wants like kind of like, I think like time, and then the third one is just like the quality. I think Dan Locke actually said this, and he says the price conscious customers, they just want a bargain. The rich guys, well, they don't care how long, they want it fast, and they want really, really high quality. And then I think the one in the middle is like the balance of like the both, where like they don't have $1 billion, but it needs to be done well, but they can't like heavily ball out. They want like the value. I think there's like the price person, there's the value person, and there's the time person. And the three different types of customers, and the ones who have the really, really big budget, like to them it's like they don't care about price, is like not an issue at all. What they really, really care about is like the maximum quality and service. Like if you need to hire like a huge team, they don't care, because money is not like the problem, but that's not their constraint.
Yeah, people with that type of dough, massive companies.
Yeah.
Money's not, they got so much money, they want it, like they just need it done right.
Have you ever had something sell a client and you didn't even realize that's what it was, and that's not even like, you weren't even selling that?
Well, no, but I could have thought it was something that it wasn't, and it turns out it was something completely different. Yeah, because for me it's interesting, it's web dev. Every time we get on a call, right, everyone's like, yo, this website's dope. Like, do you do web dev? I'm like, yeah, I guess, right? But I'm like, I don't think I'm competent at it. They're like, no, this website looks great. Like, you basically realize, oh wait, hold on, here's a feature I have. I didn't even realize it was a thing. Yeah, it's a value add. Yeah, but so it's like, how do you upsell, cross-sell, upsell? How do you go about like really valuing yourself and like in scenarios where you possibly like don't understand, so people might understand that that's valuable? it's not what you think is valuable, it's what they think is valuable.
Ah.
And you're only going to find that out by finding out what they don't have that they want.
They want
through
me.
serious questions. Not through what you can do. It's
Yeah.
what do they have that, what do they want that they don't have? Or where, or they're at a place right now, they're where they don't want to be. Right? Those
Yeah.
are two types of pains. Moving away from pain, oh, I have this is the situation, I need to get away from this. Or moving towards something, I don't have this, but I want it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like, when people, like, the way my stuff works is that usually I just have the portfolio up, and sometimes people will come to and ask me for things that, like, I don't really normally do. Like, a really good example is, like, in the portfolio, I have, like, a bunch of, like, pictures of, like, digital girls, and people just come to me like, yo, come do porn, bro.
Yeah.
I don't really offer that service, but they just make that connection in their mind, because, like, if that's where their mental frame is at, they're like, yo, I'm trying to make porn right now. Oh, yo, can you make porn?
Yeah.
Or even there's other things where, like, they'll see something that, like, kind of relates to what I'm doing, and then they're like, you want to do like projector installation type stuff? I mean, I theoretically could. I don't normally do that, but like, and then after that, it's sort of just like if they come with their problem, that's what I said in my agency. It's like technical solutions to artistic problems. We did this like I think the Vibes Cartel video came out today, but so the guy came like Vibes Cartel's in jail.
Cheers,
dude. Yeah, it is amazing, but like,
wait. Can you elaborate on that? Because like, I understand what you're saying.
Do people know what you do for a living?
No, they don't.
No, they do because they do because I've had like 16 episodes. Man. I'm talking about John
For the new viewers, tell them what you do.
Because you just dropped Vibe's name, and a lot of people might not even understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. So like, I'm a 3D animator for the music industry, right? So people come in. So the director comes in. He says like, Vibes Cartel's in jail for the next 8 years. Well, maybe 25 because he murdered his business partner, right? But he has a song with this artist that's doing really well in Jamaica. His name is Valiant. So Valiant flew to Toronto, but we can't get the Vibes Cartel in the video because so we're like, can we like CGI him in? So I did some quick CGI shots just to have because they said it's that they said again, and the budget was, I don't want to talk about the budget, but it wasn't great. So it's kind of like our options are, and the timeline's pretty short. So it's like you don't have like, but that's a lot of music videos. You have like a price constraint. You have like we have a time constraint. So it's like I need to give you something because if we don't have this, what's going to happen is that we're just going to have like him rapping, and then when Vibes Cartel is doing this part of the song, we're going to have like us holding a t-shirt with his face or something on it, because like what else can you really do with the video if the guy's in jail, right? That's what when I heard that, I'm like, is that what people do when you guys don't have CGI? You guys just like we'll have like a lighter up, and then we'll just hold like a t-shirt with the guy's face on it. I was just like, is that what you guys do when you don't have like a CGI solution?
Knowledge capital is everything, and honestly, it's funny. Like,
and like anything is better than that. Like shit, man, that's not great.
So a lot of people just don't know better, man. Like that's the biggest thing, and I think that's what I'm realizing about value. Part of value is even education, but
yeah, it's value that they're not paying for. You can educate them, good. If you want, absolutely. Give them free consulting. Fucking tell them all the answers and make them not commit or pay to anything.
Yeah.
Information is valuable.
I'm
You don't want to get in the trap of giving free information. That's a value. Have you ever heard something called transactional analysis?
No, what's that?
It's a coin termed by, I forget the guy's name. You can pull this up quickly. Transactional analysis. It's the study of how people make buying decisions. So transactional analysis is the transaction between the buyer and the seller. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about like something completely different. So in the three parts of transactional analysis is the states that you're coming from. There's the adult state, there's the parent state, and then there's the child state. So based on the concept of transactional analysis, you as the salesperson always want to be you as the salesperson, 80% of the time, about that, you want to be in parent state.
What, telling them what to do?
20% of the time you want to be in adult state. 0% of the time you want to be in child state. But to start sales conversations with a prospect out of nowhere, you need to have them come from the child state. You need to talk to them, start in parent state, talking to them in a child state, right? So that talking to them in the child state is uncovering their fears and their pains and their problems and guiding them. It's okay. Oh, tell me more about that. Oh, what happened? What happened?
Wow.
What
Yeah, I
happened?
get that. Yeah,
Right?
Wow.
So then-
This is we're getting some sales training right now.
Yeah.
This is some
What
information.
happened? Tell me more about that. Oh, that must have been frustrating. And how did that make you feel?
Oh, yeah,
How long's that been a problem for?
Yeah, that sucks. I got a solution for you.
What did you
Yeah.
try to do? Did that work? Oh, how do you feel about that? Right?
Wow.
So that's how you
Holy
start.
fuck.
That's how you start the pain conversation. So you as the salesperson, you're starting in parent state and they're coming in a child state. So once you uncover these pains in their child state, you want to push them towards adult state, right? To get to adult state, you first need to be at child state. And adult state is when you actually impart the logic state. So in parent-child state, this is the emotional state. Until you can get confirmation in the parent-child state that there is a problem, you do not move on to adult state. And the adult state is talking logic, features, benefits. This is what I can do. Here's the information. Here's the solutions, right? Because if you go... Because they're coming from a prospect is coming from a child state. How can I get my needs met? This is what I want. I want this. I need my needs met. You cannot talk to an adult. You cannot be an adult talking to a child. There's going to be a disconnect. Because if you're an adult talking to a child, they're going to test you. They're going to see what they can get out of you. They're going to see how much free shit they can get out of you because they need to get their needs met, right? So you, instead of approaching them from an adult state, you start in a parent state where you're very nurturing, you're uncovering problems, so that when you find out the problems, then you can then move to, if there are those problems, by the way, then you can move to push them to an adult state and to the point where you're having an adult conversation where you're actually figuring out solutions. But until you get the confirmation in that transactional analysis state, this is how people make purchases. They're coming from an emotional child. I need to get my needs met. I don't have this and I want that, right?
Yeah.
That's what, based on this theory, most buyers are coming from. So if you approach a child as an adult, there's going to be a disconnect. That's why it's so important to uncover the problems, find out what is really happening. Like, why are we here? What happened? Tell me more about that. Why do you think that happened? What were you hoping would have happened? Why do you think that's the case? What did you try to do about that? Did that work? Oh, that's really frustrating. How do you feel about that? Have you given up trying to deal with this issue? So not until you get those answers answered, you're not going to move on to adult sell, features, benefits, solutions, because they're going to take it from you and not pay you.
See, I totally get that too, because I've had a weird feeling with some of my clients where it's like these are people that are much older than I am, and in my opinion, much more experienced. But the interaction we have right now, sometimes I feel weird because it's like they're coming at me, and I almost have an imposter syndrome because it's like you're coming at me and I'm your subject matter expert, and like in my mind, the imposter syndrome is like I don't really feel like that, but I now understand why they're coming at me like that, because basically it's like I have a solution to their need that they don't know how to do, and it's through me, and I'm not giving them the answer of just how to do it. I just know that I can do it for them, and I'm going to perform it. If I give the perfect example, it's like I had this guy who actually tried to hire me, and then he basically realized he couldn't. I had something he really wanted, right? And I sort of almost validated that by pushing him faster into a deal that he was sort of planning for. Then he was like, oh wow, this guy's a competent operator, holy shit. Right? It's like, crap, I gotta sit back now, because he was trying to get information out of me. I was trying to tell him I have this.
He's probably acting really interested. This sounds great. Oh wow,
yeah.
OT, yeah, great.
And then he asked me some stupid shit. He asked me, tell me the name of your contact, and I'm like, I almost got angry, right? Because I'm like,
well, then if you got angry, you're reverting to child state.
Yeah.
So because you're letting his childish comment.
Yeah.
Trigger you, you're going to be in a child state, and you never want to be in child state as a salesperson. You always got to maintain either. If they're going child state, you got to revert to parent.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. Well, you're funny that you would ask me. Oh, you're so funny. Do you really think that I would give you?
Yeah.
You kind of make a joke out of it, but in a very nurturing way that doesn't make them feel stupid, that isn't belittling them, that isn't retaliating.
Yeah.
Because if you're retaliating, you're in child state.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
So you always want to start in parent state, because also if you start in parent state, you're non-threatening, and you're not coming off as this flim-flam sales guy.
Yeah.
Right? Where they got to keep their guard up and oh, is this guy going to try to sell me stuff in high pressure? I'm going to have to lie or act like whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So if you come from a parent state and really get to understand them and nurture them and find out what it is really the problem, why this problem existing, what's the impact. And only until then, you don't want to move into adult state, because every buyer is coming from child state, based on transactional analysis. I don't have a cup. Or I can just chug this water. Here, I'll just drink this water.
There's an extra cup here too.
So yeah, so the problem that a lot of salespeople is they come from adult state, and when they don't get adult back, they act in child state.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This explains a lot actually, because I deal with this shit every day. This is a very good explanation.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny too, because like
transactional analysis. Google it.
Beginning this conversation talking about financial advisors, I'm actually working with a lot of financial advisors, working with a lot of people who basically are in that world, and you do have to sort of be very like. They're always trying to get you
non-threatening.
Non-threatening, but they're always well. It sort of goes back to what I was saying about the stoicism, because I feel like a lot of, like, for lack of a better term, a lot of advisors try to G-check you, right? Like
that's
really,
because
really
a lot of
ones.
advisors. That's specific to advisors. Advisors are the smartest people in the world. They know everything, right? Because they made oftentimes they made a lot of money, and because they made a lot of money, that means they're smart. But you can literally be a piece of gum on the ground and be a financial advisor.
Yeah, it's true actually. It's very, very true.
So it's like, and it's so classic. It's like you'll have two types of egocentric financial advisors: the ones that are making a shitload of money and they'll pay you anything because they don't care. They'll just pay you and they won't do any of the work because they're making too much money. Sell it to them anyways. And then there's the advisors that are so fucking smart, they know everything, yet they're not making money. So it's like, how are you?
How smart are you really? Yeah.
But advisors specifically, they're very egocentric, right? Because they're in that kind of hotshot world where they're all like money, they gotta like show their status. So advisors are one of the hardest, most confrontational, oppositional people to work with. You'll tell them
now, though.
They'll come to you, they'll say, I need your help. You'll tell them what the help is, and then they'll argue with you. Potentially, I hope that doesn't happen to you, but it could happen. And when they do that, you go into parent state.
I agree with that, because basically the one thing with advisors I definitely know is that you have to prove that you're smarter than them or more competent than them in whatever they're looking for, right? So I think the one thing that I actually work with advisors that I do work, they know. It's actually really funny from a digital marketing perspective. I even really did like lead generation, from like a compelling content, being able to like drive like interest to my page or me, right? A lot of advisors are constantly just like, yo, why the fuck's this motherfucker? Like, I don't get it. I'm also not an advisor, so I'm free to say and do a lot more than they are.
Right.
And I think there's not resentment, but I think that's where they see
Well,
the
they have a
advantage.
lot of compliance they got to keep follow, right? They can't just do whatever they want.
Yeah, I shoot from the hip though. This one?
That's because you don't have any people breathing down your neck.
Favorite answer party.
But yeah, so it's so that's why when you're having sales conversations, you do not want to start in presentation mode. You do not want to present too early. You do not want to give them free information or any of that too early until you get confirmation of what their illness is.
I have a
and why their illness is there, and what they tried to do about their illness. Did that work?
I think that's really job specific though, because like in my position, like when people come to me, I pitch them the solution, but I know that because mine's like really technical, they can't fix it themselves.
Yeah.
And here's another funny thing too, like I'm in such a niche business that like you can try to find someone else to do it, but the likelihood of you being able to find someone else to do it is probably pretty low.
Yeah.
So sometimes when they come to me, it's just like I'll even explain to them the whole process, but then like my pipeline is like so customized.
So you have a very unique business. When you're dealing, you have a unique business. When you're a lead gen person, you're dealing in a sea of other
Red
lead
ocean.
gens. How do you differentiate yourself?
Because I have to run my sales, but I also have to do like I'm not purely a salesperson, but I have to run my sales, but I'm also selling a technical solution. But it's most of the time it's just like sometimes they'll even say it to me, like the likelihood of them. There's been very few times in the last 6 years where it's like, yo, fuck you, Eric, I'm gonna get someone else to do the exact same job as you with your exact same pipeline for like half the price. And I'll say like, honestly, good luck with that, because this shit is hard, and like I'm usually like the best value or the lowest cost vendor they'll get. And
I totally agree with you too. And the thing about you is that, honestly, I have a lot of respect for you. You're, in my opinion,
but that's your value, that no one else can do what you do.
It's also because I'm a technician as well too, which is why I focus really hard on that, because it may be sort of irreplaceable. I've been replaced a couple of times throughout, but when they booked other people, I was looking at what they were like. There was one time where like they booked another person to complete one of their videos, but that person hired like 4 people to do the job, and they came back, and I'm just like, okay, so let me get this straight. You pay the guy the same amount of money, but he had to hire 4 people to deliver that, and I'm doing it as one. I'm doing it as when I heard that, I'm like, you can do that if you want to. It's just this is not as easy.
Yeah.
But it also made me realize how much like I'm overworking, or like I'm outperforming other people if I can do the job of 4 people.
That's the biggest thing.
You gotta increase your prices or something.
I think the greatest thing,
you gotta do something. Or hire more.
I charge pretty good rates, and it's also such a niche thing, and I've occasionally seen people replace it, but like it's really kind of hard to find people to do it.
You got an incredible service. You can do what most people there's not a lot of other companies can do.
Yeah, it's really really niche, and it's sort of the benefits of running a niche business in general. It's kind of just like the market is smaller, but like you can kind of dominate that little niche, and then you can kind of just like be that bigger fish in the small pond, but you can run that pond.
Yeah.
You can fucking run that pond though. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think and obviously not the best. The worst pitch I actually had like an advisor. I gave him a bit of free information, and it wasn't good, right? But it's funny because basically, like, he tried to go figure out a way to do it by himself, and it didn't work. So now he came back to me again. He's like, "Fuck." It's like, "Shit, like, thanks for the free info, but I can't really capitalize on that. Let's just talk more about like." But he's a bit of an annoying guy in my opinion, but it's because I failed on the pitch. Now he thinks he has an opportunity to do what I can, but. Yeah.
And they can't, but the fact that you planted that in their head, of course they can't do it, but they think they can.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in that state where they can just take all your shit and think they can do it. That's because you presented too early. You gave too much value, information, without them committing to any next steps.
You know what it is? It's
you're
also
not
like,
you're not their bitch. Just because you're in sales doesn't mean you're their bitch.
That's the biggest
You
one.
got to lead the sales conversation, not them.
It's also like information arbitrage. Like that's one thing my coach says. Like he used to do tech startups, and then he stopped doing tech startups because he's just like, they had a one lead developer who like essentially ran off on the startup without telling him how to fix any of the code.
Yeah.
And he says like he's like I'm never doing a business ever again where I'm at that much of an informational disadvantage ever again. So it made me think about that because I'm just like for most of my clients, honestly, if I abandon them halfway through and like I just said, some of them are like, yo, send me all the files and everything like that. I'm like, I'll give you the fucking files, but you're not gonna be able to figure this shit out. Like,
Exactly.
I've got a lot of guys being like,
They're not even gonna open it.
like it's just too much. I'm just like, you can try, and then what ends up happening is that turns into a point of leverage because like if you want to do another video, I have all your assets, and I can even give you the assets, but you won't be able to open them or anything because you need so much software to be able to do it.
Them. You know that they're not going to do shit. Give them information overload, so it's like so much fucking information they can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
That's also an advantage, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. I've had like one time where like they're like, give me the assets, and they got another vendor to do it. The other vendor had to use the exact same software stack as me, and it still didn't look like as good as he didn't have like everything. It didn't look as polished because.
And that's a classic example of someone trying to go cheaper, and not only does this, like, no one wins in that situation.
Yeah.
No one wins when a salesperson presents too early. No one wins because you don't win as a salesperson because you could present too early, giving information that they could take and go try to do on their own, and the prospect doesn't win because they could try to take that information and go see if someone can do it cheaper, and then they go with someone cheaper, and then their problem is still not resolved. So no one wins when you present too early.
Do you think there's also like, this is a stupid question. This is a stupid statement to say. There's also like a lot
The
of
only stupid question is the one that you don't ask.
Yeah, but I was gonna say there's also a lot of value in just being really good at what you do, like being really good at what you do.
That's the leverage.
Impart how good you are and give it to them for free.
So you know what I've actually
free consulting.
I've realized. I know, and obviously it's gonna change in a bit as obviously people become better at it. But like, I'm realizing now I've gotten really good at using GPT and AI systems.
Nice.
I've gotten really fucking good at it, right? And the thing is, like, because basically I'll sit down with somebody and I'll say, this is what I do to do this, right? And they'll try to do it and they're like, fuck, I can't get to that. And they'll keep on trying to like figure out ways to get there, and they just can't do it, right? So I feel like on some level, well, in that case, it's like I can tell them like what I do, I can give them the information, but it's
they
like
still probably won't do it, but they'll potentially go and find someone else to do it for cheaper.
Yeah.
That's the risk.
Yeah, but like right now, there's
or they think in their minds that they can do it, therefore they're not. That means you didn't communicate the value of your well
skill.
enough.
Yeah.
Not of your skill, but of them realizing that they're in a situation where if they don't get this fixed, they're fucked.
Yeah, and that's what actually, you know what's funny, specifically on AI.
And that's pain.
Yeah.
If I don't fix this, I'm fucked. I'm concerned. I'm frustrated. I'm worried.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at night. It's taking up all my brain power, right?
So you know what's funny? AI started been helping me with that because I've basically almost been expressing like the doom aspect of it, where it's like, hey, if you don't get good at this, you're fucked. Your competitor's gonna eat you, right?
Good mentality.
Yeah,
you're getting ahead of the curve.
Yeah. So it's like you might as well like use me right now because I know you're too busy to understand how to do this proficiently. I'm very skilled at this. I spend way more time per day on this than you do. I know for a fact because you don't have the time. Right?
Yeah, but you can't say that to a prospect. They're not going to care.
But you don't say that to them, but
they're going to be like, oh, that's great, and then they're not going to pay you.
It's true, but I agree with that. But also I feel like sometimes you can just sort of flex your knowledge on something, and they sort of and they see it. They're
Absolutely,
like, oh, shit.
yeah. You're absolutely sure, as long as you're not giving them information that they can use.
Yeah.
And go through on their own.
And I've noticed that like good operators actually really keep their secrets close to their vest.
Well, that's because they're used to salespeople trying to convince and persuade. They're used to, if they don't open up, when they open up, they think that the salesperson is gonna, try to convince them or beg them or plead, whatever. That's why they keep their cards close. And so how you can break down those cards is by asking them really deep, penetrating questions that are focused solely on their problems and not at all about solutions that you have.
So I'm a quick diver, right? Like obviously I'm speaking. I love talking about myself, right? So one thing I've actually found is that's really advantageous. So I find a challenge being like, I try to stay away from race dynamics, right? But like being a black business owner, right, comes with its challenges, because I find generally perceptually people think that maybe you're not competent. So what I've realized is like when I prove to people that I'm competent, the sale almost automatically happens.
Yeah.
I almost don't really need to like sell more than the fact that they're like, oh wow, this guy's actually really good at his job.
Well, there was like a report out that black women coaches, like that, if you're a black woman coach, you're stick holding the market. You're making money. Yeah. Right? Like coach of what? Anything. Yeah, because they say that about therapists. They say about therapists especially, but anything.
I agree with that, but I also think like black men are like, and I
sure, absolutely, but that was just the stat. Like, there's got to be something about that as well. Yeah.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Like, yes, 100%. But I also think there's something about being like there's a weird gender dynamic, specifically, especially in the whole racial flex of things, right? And that's what I'm trying to say. I think like definitely, I feel like right now, and I'm gonna say this, and this may be a contentious point, right? But I actually do feel like right now, when it comes to commerce, black women do have an easier time than black men.
I think this one's actually the coil on this one's broken.
Yes.
That's why it tastes burnt.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Just
you're
like
right, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say. I try to flex. I try to express to a lot of.
Do you want this?
No, it's fine. I have like 10 of these things.
Yeah, but
that's a brand new one though. But it tastes like fucking mouthwash.
Is that good or bad?
Well, it tastes brand new, so it's really, really strong. The taste is really strong. It's
potent. This one's delicious. It's banana.
Yeah. So that's a brand new one. So like the nicotine and the taste is like when they're it tastes like bubble gum. It tastes like fucking Listerine, whatever. Yeah, but this one, like when they say it starts to taste kind of burnt, that's because the coil's broken. So now we're smoking.
Isn't that when it's bad, when people smoke it when it's empty and the things?
Yeah, no,
you
can taste it. So that one's definitely dead. So that one we can't smoke that one anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like these ones, they have the Mr. Fuck have an amazing taste, but we're like the coils burn out faster because that one I love how that one forever.
So good.
It make you a fucking addict.
I know. How long will this last for?
5,000 hits.
Really?
It says on there. Actually, it says.
How long does it take to go through 5,000 hits?
Like a year.
Really?
I've had that for like 6-7 months.
Really?
Yeah. And you're still hitting it. It still works.
How much is this?
Like $40.
Why would people smoke cigarettes?
Exactly.
That's a great question.
I was with my friend at the mall yesterday, and he's still smoking cigarettes. We're in the car, and we can't smoke in the car. He's like, "Yo, give me your vape," and I'm just like, "That's right, motherfucker."
I think there's an aspect of like smoking cigarettes right now that's like.
They like the mouthfeel. They like the mouthfeel of the smoke, and they like the throat hit of the nicotine.
But don't they make vape pens that it's like it simulates pulling the cigarette.
No, but I think people who smoke cigarettes want the pain.
Like those jewels.
No, but I think people who smoke cigarettes want the pain.
Do you hear that?
They want the like.
Do you hear that TikTok? Why do you smoke cigarettes? Because you fucking hate yourself.
Yeah, I sort of get that.
Because you fucking hate yourself.
Well, no, I sort of get that though because I think honestly,
it's fucking true.
It's such
also because you're just addicted.
Yeah, well, no, I had a cigarette the other day for the first time in a while, and I was like, holy shit, this is hard. Yeah, I was like, this is hard.
It was horrible. I had a drag of a cigarette. I always do that when I'm drinking, and then I want to like, oh, this is going to be my first time, and then I have a cigarette, and I'm just like,
That's actually why I got into the vapes, because if you know you're going to be smoking cigarettes, just do the vape, and like, none of the shit's really healthy for you, but the vape's healthier than the cigarettes.
Cigarettes taste like absolute dog shit.
No, they don't. They taste good. I like cigarettes. They taste nice. I like the taste of tobacco. It's just unhealthy, and then you wake and it's tar. You wake up the next day and you're coughing and this tar.
What kind of cigarettes do you smoke?
We're doing menthols. Like every time you leave the country, you can get some menthols. But the
Aren't
menthols,
those the worst for you?
I'm like, well, they're not bad. They're not bad. The problem is that they mask the throat burn feeling, so you can actually smoke more of them.
Yeah.
So the problem with menthols is that I started realizing I don't even like the menthol. I just like the taste.
The taste,
And then when I
yeah.
got into the vapes, I'm just like, this shit tastes like candy. I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna do this for the rest of my life.
But why don't you do it without the nicotine? Just get the.
I have the nicotine with no nicotine vapes, and it's
bullshit?
it's bullshit. Like I tried, and they taste cool. It just tastes like vapor candy, but then you don't get that like nicotine, and it makes you realize how addicted I am to nicotine. Because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I can't. I try to do it without it. It's like
Sugar.
It's like drinking the
Is
alcohol
another
for beer.
huge problem.
My thing is
Sugar's
caffeine.
fucked. Sugar's
Right now,
fucked.
my thing is caffeine because caffeine gives me like a fucked up amount of focus. Like
That's good, isn't it?
yeah. I'm definitely addicted to caffeine right now though. Like
I'm addicted. I love being addicted to caffeine.
Yeah, I probably drink like 3 like bulletproof coffees a day.
That's a lot.
Apparently,
Yeah.
drinking coffee in the morning actually doesn't really do much for you.
Really?
No,
Because
definitely,
you're-
it definitely does. Yeah, it definitely does.
No, because, and I'll tell you why. Because when you sleep, I was reading this stuff. I follow this guy that talks about all these things. When you go to bed and you wake up, I don't. Is it cortisol? I don't know. You're like at prime. Whatever the thing is that coffee will ignite it. You're at like prime state. So drinking coffee, actually in the morning, it doesn't really do much for you. People think it does, but it doesn't. You're better off drinking coffee at say 3 p.m. when those levels have started to come down.
You know what gets me in the morning?
What?
Cardio. Hard cardio.
Nice.
Hard cardio in the
Yeah.
morning. That shit gets me going for the
Being in
rest
the
of
morning
the day.
is awesome
Yeah,
because it gives you gas for the whole day.
it does, man. Like you're
Yeah.
ready to go. Like
Yeah.
usually when I'm on my solid schedule, I wake up at 6 a.m.
Damn.
and then I get to working out, right?
What time do you go to bed usually?
Latest like 10, 11.
Really?
Generally,
I
yeah.
wish. I go to
Yeah,
bed
yeah.
At least 1 p.m. 12
I
p.m.
can't. That fucks me up.
I've got to get out of this habit, man. I'm
Hey, what are you
trying.
saying?
man.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm trying to get out of this habit.
No,
of
yeah,
mine.
come on, bro. Are you actually on for the pod this time, or you know?
No,
Hey.
no.
Yeah, this guy's gonna be in the back. Eh?
Well, you were here last Friday, right?
Yo, come on in, bro. Like,
No. It's his job. I can't do it.
Okay,
You
okay.
can set the camera if you want, but it's up to you. It's up to your job. The camera's on though.
Can we blur his face?
No, there's no point.
That'd be cool if we could, though.
But the thing with this though is that we don't put your name in, so if anyone searches your name on Google, it won't come up.
Yeah. We'll call you Mickey Mouse.
Yes, no, we're talking about transactional sales, the parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
Transactional analysis.
Transactional analysis.
Justine's like an expert salesperson.
Okay.
So she's
Big ticket items or?
yes.
It's training.
Let's turn the camera off. We're gonna move it though, because like it actually really disrupts the audio and the actual like flow of it.
But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I really wanted to talk, which was a great discussion. Thanks for partaking in it. But what I really wanted to talk about was the concept of, which I made my note here.
I got the name in, this one's not good.
These are minty anyways.
You know,
This one tastes like fucking mouthwash.
so this
It's like fucking-
concept
I
of
read
like,
it. Yeah, and then this one
One conversation at a time, please. Sorry about that.
no, you guys finish yours first.
Well, okay, no. So you guys have a conversation, but it's yes. I was talking. to
Alright,
everyone.
keep
I was talking to
going,
everyone,
keep going.
Yeah, so like this concept of you gotta learn to be alone.
Your camera fell over.
Yeah, it's charging right
Okay,
now.
that's fine.
Sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to learn to be alone. Right? They say once you learn to be alone, you can finally find love and companionship and a good job and this that, right?
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Learning to be alone.
Okay.
Getting comfortable with being alone.
Okay.
Right? That's the narrative that's being pushed in pop culture, right?
Yeah.
Right? The self-love concept, learning to be alone, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about that, it's actually fucking stupid. It's actually fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because learning to be alone, wouldn't that prepare you to be alone?
Yes.
Right?
No, I hear you on that, but like you do need to know how to be alone to a certain extent, and it's for people who don't know how to be alone, get in really bad relationships because they're clingy.
Right.
So you need to have a certain level of self-reliance. You don't want to like you don't want to get super good at being alone because then you'll end up being alone your whole life. If you get too good at being alone, it's like
Right.
it's like getting really good at drinking or
I
something.
think,
It's
that,
like-
I think that's my issue
Yeah.
right now. I think I've gotten way too. Okay, honestly, I think I've gotten way too good to be alone.
But humans don't like to be alone. We like to be around people. So instead of, yes, get comfortable being alone sometimes, but also get comfortable with changing, instead of, you know,
Fucking hot
reacting
right
to
now.
your environment.
Fucking
Instead of
hot
getting
ass
mad
right
at your
now.
environment. Think of it differently. So instead of putting attention to things that make you feel like shit, put your attention to people that don't make you feel like shit, right? Because you don't want to get used to being perpetually alone. You want to get used to being around really good fucking people and normalizing high standards, normalizing showing up properly, normalizing respect, you know, dignity, all that shit. And you want to be around people that are like that. So yes, you got to learn to be alone so that you don't recreate patterns and you really kind of like get to know yourself. But at the same time, you don't want to be alone for too long. You want to push yourself to be around, get yourself in situations where you're around good people.
I'm so happy.
Because we are animals. We're pack people, right? Like, and society's like pushing us to, plus work from home. It's not healthy.
I'm happy you brought that up, but this is actually one part I want to speak about, right?
How can you be productive if you're not getting that, you know, dopamine?
You know how you can be productive specifically, Justine, right? Get away from shitty people.
Yeah.
Get away from people that are doing nothing with their lives. Get away from people that are lazy. Get away from people that are narcissistic. Get away from people that are fucking just like are sinking ship.
Why do you think people have trouble getting away from those people?
Honestly, I'm gonna speak towards my specific context, right? Honestly, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, right?
What?
I'm gonna use colloquialisms too. I have a very diverse friend group, right? I have a lot of Asian friends, I have a lot of white friends, I have a lot of black friends, true. I'll tell you my issue with my black friends, right? They are so fucking close-minded. They are so fucking close-minded that they're incapable of actually expanding their personality. They want to do better things, but they can't because the people they hang out with are fucking losers. The shit that they do is fucking loser shit. I'm so sorry, but like telling me, like going to a fucking club, fucking Thursday, Friday, Saturday fucking night, and hanging out with 7-year boys, spending $4 for a fucking $40 bottle of Hennessy is in no way fucking cool. They're not rich, Justine. They're not. They're fucking doing loser shit. They know they're doing loser shit, and they refuse to get away from that fucking lifestyle.
Do you think that's a race thing or just people?
It's a race thing.
So why do you think
I think it's also I think it might be also a class thing too, though, because because there's also opportunity, and there's like if you grow up in the type of environment that's kind of all you know, and it's, you know, that comes into being your norm.
I come from a low class though. That's what I'm trying to say. I know people that have way more. I know family. I know black.
You said you came from a very conservative household.
I actually don't think you're a low class person because your parents are your mom's really educated.
Actually, yes.
Like you're not from a low class background, but but in terms of like being actually, I know a bunch of rich people honestly who are very educated and they still live that way just because they're degens. Like I know plenty of people who have like good jobs, their parents are educated and they still like do a lot of drugs and party.
Yeah.
So it might also just be like your friend group is just not in a healthy state and you guys don't have anything better to fucking do.
But that's what I'm trying to say. But like choose to do healthier things. Is it the
friend group or is it you?
It's a friend group.
You're the common denominator.
It's a friend group. It's because there's a whole bunch of groupthink that happens, I find.
Yeah.
Right? And people refuse. It's almost
But look, if you want to see who you are, look at the 5 people you hang around with. You're no different than them.
Makes a big difference,
honestly.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I had to make some decisions in my friend group, and I had to cut some people, and I have zero sympathy for how they feel about it because they're fucking losers. Right? Straight up. Be better. I fucking told them for years, and they just weren't. You're a fucking loser. I'm not going to be.
You gotta watch out for yourself. You can't take on people's baggage.
Yeah, straight up. And I talk about this all the time. I have no problem talking about it. Yo, listen. If you lack integrity, you're a fucking loser. I'm sorry. Period. That's just how I look at it. There's a certain way to move through life where you're going to be happy, and a certain way you're going to move through life where you're just being fucking miserable. You make these decisions willingly. And if you choose to make decisions that you know are making you fucking miserable, you fucking destroy a lifestyle.
At the same time, remember, you could be like, why are you living this way? You're living your life this way, it's bad. But they could point a finger back at you and say, okay, well, you're living this way, and I think that's bad.
Well, see, here's my thing. I always, especially in...
That's why I just don't like to tell people how to live.
It's true, but I'm saying, this is specific to me.
Because they could be like, well, Justine, you're doing this, right, you know?
I have so many of my friends that are like, let's say, like, culturally black, and they always make comments about me, oh, you're so white, da-da-da-da. How are you black conscious? Honestly, it fucking pisses me off so fucking much. Because when I hear them say that, I'm like, oh, you're telling me that I have to fucking just do more loser shit to be black? Like, are you fucking serious? Is that what you're fucking trying to tell me, bro?
That's not cool.
I have to stop associating myself with people that are actually doing shit in their life.
But do you think that's what they're saying?
Yes.
Or are they saying, hey, like, this is, you know, we come from a different, you know, background, and this is how we've learned what we have to do to survive.
We come from repression, so I have to continue doing repressive fucking behaviors to maintain my fucking blackness? No, fuck that shit. Be better. Period.
You gotta hang out with those like black Christian people who like don't do drugs, don't drink, play sports all the time.
That's basically who I'm becoming now, honest swear to God, right?
But you gotta hang out with those type of guys.
Yo, because
they exist.
No, because I'm off this shit. I'll tell you one thing, right? And it sounds fucking insane probably, but I'm 30. I think I'm too old to go to Caravana. If you are like fucking nearly 40 and you're going to that shit, I'm sorry, you're fucking.
No, I do. There's old women who go. It's just part of the culture.
Sure, if you're
just don't get fucked up. That's all you have to do.
What do you think they do there?
A lot of people get fucked up because it's a party. I get it.
But what do you mean?
You can also drink responsibly. You can have a couple of drinks and hang out. It's a party.
Caravana and fucking.
Because that's like saying we shouldn't have Caravana. Caravana is our cultural festival.
I'm not saying Caravana shouldn't exist. I'm just trying to say, motherfucker, if you're fucking 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, right?
Yeah. There's families that go to Caravana. There's
no, there's not. I promise you there's no families that go to Caravana.
People bring. Okay, you're talking about this walk. When I was a kid, my parents were going to Caravana. I'm a fucking Chinese family, bro. And the reason why is because it's a parade. It's all about what you make out of it. You want to go and dance and be a part of the parade. That's great. If you want to go and get shit faced and be like, because I know it's a shit show for some people, there's nothing wrong with Caravana, and I think it's all about how you use Caravana.
There's some things wrong.
There's nothing wrong with Caravana. Okay, there's nothing wrong with Caravana.
Then you haven't seen.
So no, let me speak specifically to the motherfuckers I'm talking to. If you are 35 and above and you're going to Caravana to go pick up fucking 20-year-old bitches, you are disgusting.
But how is that any different from a club or whatever?
You're also disgusting.
It's also about, it's just about your usage. You can go to Caravana, you can drive one of the floats, you can
sure,
you can do the costumes. It's all about your use. You can go to the club and just listen to the music and hang out and leave, not pick up 20
If you're 36 trying to hop a fence to join the parade in Caravana, you're a fucking loser.
No. Depending what you're doing in Caravana. If you're walking the parade, if you're a parade coordinator for that, if you're doing costumes,
if you're a coordinator,
if you're playing the music,
if you're making money and this is part of your community.
I think what OT means is like if you're like using it in ways that are just kind of silly.
If you're just being a DJ about it, but you can be a DJ at like the grocery store, bro. You can go to the grocery store and pick up 20 girls.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I just think it's like, because there's a whole bunch of shit that happens there, like on that day, that's just fucking degenerate. And people try to stray away from it. But yeah, like women are literally being treated like they're fucking chum in a fucking shark pool. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane when you see. No, it's fucking not, bro. When you see 5 niggas out there fucking that are 35 plus going after a little girl, bro, that's disgusting.
So why is that part of the culture then?
No, it's not part of the culture.
No, it's not part of the culture. Those are just guys like kind of like trying to maximize the situation. But those guys are also just DJs. Like there are plenty of people who just go, they do the cause. I know there's a lot of drinking and partying, but every party has every festival has drinking.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. I get what you're saying. Like you disagree with them the way your friends are using it, but you don't have to use it like that.
Being a human being and you want to bang.
Okay, sure, 100%.
It's important. We don't want to shy away. Like we don't want to turn into like, thinking that sex is like a bad thing or that it's like, a taboo thing or that we shouldn't be, sexual. I think that's another issue in the world is that you're villainizing, not you, but like oftentimes people villainize sex.
Yeah.
Like it's a counterproductive thing, but it's natural.
I'm not saying that I'm saying if you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and you're going to Caravana having a good time, sure, fully about it. Motherfucker, if you are fucking 35, you need to be having a job and figuring out a way to have your life be more fucking sustainable than this being your fucking shit. I'm sorry, I don't fucking accept this shit anymore, and I don't want to fucking be around people that do that shit. Fucking period. If that's you, get the fuck away from me. Straight up.
It's your life.
That's just me.
You decide what happens to you. No one else decides.
You can go to Caravana and have you can have like a regular job and go to Caravana and just like not get too fucked up and like not be picking up 20-year-old girls. And just go eat the curry goat and just relax.
Yeah, have a good time. I'm just saying.
If you're a normal dude, that's your chance every year to wall out. Is that okay?
If you're a normal dude?
Yeah,
you have a normal job.
No, for sure.
I go and have a good time.
Yes. If that's your day off, like that's your day off.
Okay,
as long as I'm not doing anything like really gross and ratchet that day.
Yeah,
that guy's dude doesn't affect me.
I just see some gross shit when
There's gross shit at every party, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's gross shit at every party, but you don't have to be that guy. You can make choices in your life, right? Because Caravana, it's like a historic festival at this point, and it doesn't have to be like a giant like fucking orgy on a bunch of 20-year-old girls.
But it is.
No, it is for some people. For other people. Do my friend's mom goes in it and she's like probably in her 60s and she does the costume and she does it because she grew up with it.
That's cool.
Exciting.
That's the one day of the year and she works on her costume. That's the one day of the year when she gets to celebrate the culture. Right? That's the original purpose of Caravana.
I know
but then I'm going to be a devil's advocate. What's wrong with just wilding out and
getting shit-faced and getting fucked up.
Yeah, and having.
As long as it's not destructive and it's sustainable, it's okay. As long as it's not sustainable.
Because me, it's more so indicative of your long-term goals in life and what you actually do outside of this day. And I see a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah, but how
that
does
waste their
wanting
time.
to have sex affect
It's
how
not
your
even-
long-term goals?
It's not even the sex part. I mean, everyone is allowed to have sex. I'm saying the nature of that
I
fucking
think we
event.
make it so taboo, and it's like you're not. You can balance it. You can have fun and also be productive and work.
Yeah,
and
you
also
can have fun.
goals.
I'm just saying the savagery I've seen there is fucking
Well,
crazy.
yeah, obviously.
Like you see
I
girls.
think we can all agree on that.
You'll see like 5 girls literally have to like link arms together, right? Because literally motherfuckers are pulling them like fucking chum. You know, I'm trying to say chickens. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen girls literally get picked up, bro, like picked up from their legs, like
You
know
cannot
what I
just
mean?
go.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
the craziest
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It is
It's the
pretty
craziest
crazy.
shit. Yeah. Take it from their friends. Just literally take it.
I know, but those guys are like they're being too extra, and it doesn't have to be that crazy.
I'm just trying to say.
doesn't
Are
have
the
to be
girls
like-
having fun when that happens?
No, those girls probably aren't because that doesn't sound.
Why would they be
consensual.
linked together? You know what I'm trying to
That
say?
doesn't sound
It's like
that doesn't sound
insane.
consensual, but
I'm
Playing
just-
hard to get.
Huh?
Playing hard to get.
Yeah.
Playing hard to get. Yo, I'm just trying to say there's some. Okay, there's in my opinion, right? There's a lot of reasons why you don't see some motherfuckers ahead, and it's because of non-conducive behaviors. That's just sort of like.
Well, obviously, every action has a consequence.
Exactly. And like honestly, there's other festivals happens. Like you see Cinco de Mayo, you see Day of the Dead, you see all these other things. Other countries have these parades, right? And it's
But
not
you just don't like Caravana.
it's not a fucking it's not a
I like
it's not a
Caravana.
road level opportunity for you to be a predator. You know what I'm trying to say? That's my
Yeah,
issue with it.
you could be a predator like in any situation. You can go to the grocery store. You could be a predator and you go to like all just nightclubs and try to pick up. Like there are guys who are creeps, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
I just know for me, I stay away from that. This is me. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe like other people can live their lives, but like
I think we gotta take you to Caravana. We gotta go dead
No,
sober and just
never.
watch a parade, eat some food, and go home, and have like a good Christian experience in Caravana.
I had fun when I was a child. I am an adult now, and when you're an adult, you put child things away. If that also includes people, yeah.
Caravana's coming up this summer, man.
Too.
Caravana's coming up this summer, bro.
There's so much other shit to do.
We're definitely going.
It's
Like,
like,
shut up, we're going.
it's pretty. You just go. You just get some food. You hang. You watch a
You just go have
parade.
fun, don't think
The
too
floats
much.
and the floats
I know
and
what
the
you're saying,
costumes
but,
are
like,
amazing.
Just don't think about it.
It's not very long.
Don't assign that type of meaning and value. For sure, it's
A lot of Americans
degenerate
come
as
up
fuck.
Yeah.
But it's
They
also
do, man.
fun as shit.
Yeah.
Is it not?
I mean, like,
Well, to each their own. Whatever.
When I went to some American music festivals, one thing I noticed is that people get different things out of festivals. Like some people are going for the party, some people are going for the music, some people are going for the costumes, some people like everyone's getting something out of it, and as long as you're not doing anything like really gross or ratchet or hurting yourself, like you kind of can't judge because like I can't tell this person like to not like if like some people don't like the music, they just go for the costumes. If that's just your thing, that's just some people's interpretation of like that's the value they
It's
get.
fun.
Out of it.
It's like Halloween.
So some people just go for the food, some people just go for some people just go to get shit faced
No,
and like
some people go to pick up chicks and pick up dudes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a very valid reason to go. Come on.
And there's girls who
It's
just go to like,
okay.
meet guys too. Girls go to clubs to meet guys, yeah.
yeah.
It's okay
I'm
to
just
do
saying.
that, guys.
Yeah.
FYI.
No, it's fine for sure.
You can still don't be afraid of women.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying be afraid of women. I'm just trying to say, I know some motherfuckers who spend their whole year not doing shit, and then this comes up, and they're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is
that's
what. Many motherfuckers like that, and I start cutting them motherfuckers off, and they start feeling away. Oh, why are you doing that?
They're not living a balanced lifestyle. That's why you gotta live the balanced lifestyle.
If
And
you cut
then,
somebody off, you just say, hey, we can't be friends anymore. I'm not gonna talk to
you
you.
just stop talking.
I don't even say that. I just cut them.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah, I just cut them and walk away. Because sometimes you never cut someone off without them knowing why they've been cut off. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's actually more mature. Or
Is it?
well, sometimes though, like if you know they're not going to change, sometimes like you just kind of let them do that.
You just gotta let them do your
Because I don't
thing.
want to start this argument because they're probably going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't want to have that fun. Sometimes you just reach a conclusion with a person. You're just like, you're just not a good person.
Yeah,
in my
just
life.
fuck you. Like, so
If you have like 3 negative interactions with a person in a row, that's all it takes for you
Yeah,
to
that's
stop
all-
talking to that
yeah,
person.
it's-
Just 3 in a row.
it's an easy fuck you.
You know, I have a couple of friends that guys, when it was day 1 of those guys fucking trying to get in a fist fight with me. Day 2, guys like all fucked up, taking a fist fight with me, talking shit about my parents. Day
Yeah.
3, getting fight with my other friends. I'm like, I can't get
Mentally ill.
And I think I'm
that,
just
that guy is mentally ill for sure.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm just talking. I feel like the older you get, and don't get me wrong, obviously we have different stages in our lives, but it's like I don't know, man. I'm not in a spot where anymore I'm really like focusing on parties in my life.
It's fine.
I love parties. I'll go to parties. That's not
No,
a priority
you
in
don't
my
want to
planning.
party all night. Like,
Yeah.
because it's not just the time you're partying, it's like the recovery, the thoughts you have after it. You know, and there's new studies that show out just a small amount of drinking alcohol, a couple times a week, it affects how you handle stress when you're sober.
Yeah. I started looking into that. It's like the Andrew Huberman podcast. Is just like a lot of people drink to like kind of like dampen it, but what it does, it increases your cortisol levels. That's how I start getting on ashwagandha and shit like that. I'm trying to do cortisol management because some people just kind of drink to cool off. You do the ashwagandha or anytime a nootropic. Yeah, it'll sort of like just adaptogen out the stress molecules in your brain, so you don't
so
really
it's
feel
harder to
like
handle stress. Like you'll be more reactive to stressful situations if you drink during the week and you have, like, even if you haven't drank in a couple days, but if you consistently drink small amounts, you know, it will affect how you handle stress. You'll be more reactive, you'll be more stressed out, you'll be more freaked out in stressful situations than if you don't drink.
No, that's true for sure.
Not to everyone, but to, that's what the recent...
We're having some of these studies come out right now about like the negativity of alcohol, like the negative effects and everything. I think Gen Z is really interesting. They're doing a lot of things that they see millennials kind of fucked up on. So Gen Z, they're getting phones. They're getting dumb phones. So phones with no social media attached. They're not participating in social media. They don't want to drink. They're doing more weed and they're smoking more weed. Well, like, they're just looking at the millennials and being like, we don't want to fucking be like you guys. I take a page from their book because those guys are really innovative and it's pretty smart. You know, I appreciate it.
True. Speaking of which, you don't have any. Oh, you don't smoke, right?
Oh, so you want some weed right now?
I don't have any.
He's got some weed on him. Maybe Otis.
Do you?
Maybe Otis.
Do you blaze though?
No, quit smoking a long time ago.
We used to hit some fucking big bongs. Yeah, we used to hit some like fucking like retarded level like triple chamber.
Just the nicotine now?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm the one who enabled them to do this too. I'm a fucking crackhead. I've been enabling all my friends on this vape shit. You know what though? Like
you have. I'm also enabled.
It's fucking nice though, isn't it?
It is.
Is that Eric's?
Yeah.
Yeah. He brings the fun.
Yeah, I just bring like a whole pile of vaporizers and some crack and all shit. All my friends are fucking addicted. No, it's pretty fun.
True.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good discussion. I'm running out of topics for the night. What about you?
What topics do I want to talk about?
I don't know.
I don't know. So like I went out last night and I just realized, like I feel like when I was younger, there was a huge novelty in going to clubs. I feel like I was learning something from it. But now when I revisit these places, it's kind of like replaying an old video game that you beat like a long time ago. So, because I went in there and I'm just like, how come this isn't this fun anymore? I've also done like some pretty extreme clubbing in my life. Like I've traveled and stuff, so it's like I've seen some pretty crazy shit. And now like my bar is so high.
Yeah.
Not to remove me from appreciating kind of local events and everything like that, but in the sense where it's like if the club's not great, if the music's not great, if the club itself, if the bar's not great, it's just like if the three reasons I'm supposed to get value out of this place is not really giving it to me, then I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm here. I'm not getting anything out of this at all.
Because you're not at the level that the people that enjoy it are at. You're at a different level, right?
Yeah, I just sort of grown out of that headspace. And
is it the music or the crowd?
If they put it at the level that you're at, then they wouldn't get that mass amount of people in.
Yeah, or just be a different place as well too. Because I still enjoy music. I still enjoy like a really nicely stocked bar. They had amazing cocktails.
Well, it's like what we went to on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was from 7 to 11. There were sick DJs,
Yeah.
fucking sick. It's not where you go get hammered and drunk. You're actually dancing and having fun and talking to people, rather than just like going to get like hammered.
Yeah, it's every Wednesday. It's like 6 to 11 p.m.
Did you go? Have you ever been?
Do you want to buy a plug? I feel next Wednesday we should go because like Evie said it was.
Is it Secret Society?
That's the one. Yeah.
That's a good party.
Yeah.
Yeah, Secret Society.
Yeah, it's older crowd, right?
Yeah.
DJs are amazing.
Oh, that's a great place. Yeah, that was a good time.
The drummer guy?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear they're doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they doing it before?
Yeah, they were doing it in multiple venues around the city.
They've been around for a while.
Secret Society?
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
Oh, for real, eh?
Like 2015.
Oh, jeez. These guys are OGs.
Damn.
They used to do it on King East, and they had a venue in Kensington back in the day.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, eh? Yo, there's a new comfort zone now, right?
Yeah, near my place, not Queen West.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's actually in Parkdale. Yeah.
It's underneath like a lighting store.
Yeah. It's
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Appropriately.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still stream. I'm trying to forget the type of music they play there, man. Like it's almost like
Just tech house.
it is, but like I feel like they have like their own sound. Like the DJs, it's like the comfort zone sounds like they don't really play that sound in any club in the city. I feel it's almost like an older sort of house sound as well too. It's more like a classic sound.
It's like 2008 tech
I like
house.
this one.
Yeah, it's almost like they kind of froze that and just keep playing it.
Time capsule.
Oh man, yeah.
Have you been to these seasons?
I haven't been to it, but I've watched some of their live streams because they stream it and like
CZ?
yeah. And, like,
They live stream it?
they live stream it. They live stream it.
That's
You can
dangerous.
follow them on. Well, not really, because if you play them on Instagram, you can actually hear what they're playing, and I'm like they're playing the same kind of genre,
Okay.
or even the same kind of style.
What part of just the stage or like?
Oh, it's somebody around when they
This
live
is the
stream.
DJ booth.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
it's an empty venue when they live stream.
Yeah, because I remember the first time I went to Comfort Zone, that was wild.
Yeah.
That
Can't
was
take photos
wild.
in there.
Huh?
Can't take photos in there.
Yeah,
That's
for
okay.
good reason. You know,
What's that other rave place downtown?
Vertigo.
No,
Coda?
Coda.
Coda,
Is
yeah.
that
Yeah.
still going on?
Yeah,
Oh
Coda's-
yeah,
Coda's still
yeah.
going strong.
They book like major DJs now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
become like a serious club. It's like a really commercial,
It's
high
pretty
budget.
mainstream.
Yeah, it's like I think Evie said like in the last couple of months he was in he got locked out 3 times in a row. Like he went and lied and didn't buy tickets. He's like if I just line up and I get there before 12, I'm gonna get in. I'm like nah.
No, we tried that, yeah.
It's rammed at this point, and
Yeah.
they'll leave you in line like a street decoration the whole fucking night. Like,
Well,
you
it's
know,
because
tickets.
it's the most crazy thing because basically it's like, okay, like we have tickets, but like not everyone has tickets gonna pull up. So if you want to wait outside, yeah, sure, maybe you can get in, but like, yo, you're not priority, right? So like
They hit capacity, like only fit like 650 people in there or so.
yeah.
You sell like 500 tickets, you're pretty much
Do they
already
still go
done.
all night?
They go like 5 in the morning and they cut off, so it's not too hardcore.
Is that allowed though?
Liquor license cuts off at 2, and then they
Right.
just run till 5. So they still sell alcohol, and then after that it's just like, can they keep the dance floor packed till 5?
2? It lasts till 2?
Well, no, the alcohol goes till 2, and then 5 is
know,
when,
is that
five
late?
is when they like close the doors and kick
Yeah.
everybody out.
There's like a couple. Does Kensington still have speakeasies?
Like cold tea.
Sure.
No, not cold. There's a couple of them. Those like
Yeah,
the
they got
other.
those little.
Oh, like the real shitholes?
Yeah, the real
I love
shit.
those.
I went to one where basically I forgot. I was so drunk. I don't remember where it was. I just remember it was a yellow wall. A door opened up. I went downstairs. It was a casino.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's 202 on Spadina. I've been
Is
there
that-
before.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty much an illegal poker place.
Yeah,
you can play
yeah.
cash games there. It's
That
kind of
sounds
fun.
awesome.
It was wild
More
though.
house in Spadina?
202 Spadina. It's like Spadina, and like it's that black
Black
house.
House,
It's that. It's like on the west side of the Spadina. It's this black house where there's a guy in front, and you have to say you know like the owner or something to get in, and
Yeah,
you go in,
yeah.
and it's like I can't even believe they run that
Is that like
shit.
an HA spot?
No, I remember. No. I remember going down there. There's a shotgun down there. Like you could see the back. They had like it was like yeah. Yeah, it was serious. Actually, I'm not sure if that was because this one actually was in Kensington, and I think it was like behind. It was like in a back alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kensington.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm reading Prince Harry's book right now. It's
Love
called
Kensington
Spare.
in the summer.
And he's talking about meeting Meghan Markle, and then I got more details about Meghan Markle because she's an actress on Suits, and she moved to Toronto for like 7 years from Los Angeles. So she's living in Toronto and just kind of getting into her life and everything. So they rented her like this house in Seton Village. So she has like a little townhouse that she's living in, and then they pay her like 50 grand USD an episode. So she was making around like 450K a year. And then they actually broke down the numbers on her life and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then she, I thought she might be paid more as an actress, but she's also like she's like a third lead on the show. She's not like a main character. She's like but she's on like all 9 seasons. She did 9 seasons of that. And then she was actually just talking about how like her life in Toronto, and it was actually just very relatable. She's like, yeah, I go to Aritzia, buy most of my clothes, and like I go here to get my hair done.
Aritzia?
She follows some designer shit too, but
I love Aritzia.
Aritzia?
well, no, she likes
Did
Canadian
you say
brands.
disgusting?
Yeah, no,
You look disgusting.
no,
50K an episode. You going to Aritzia?
No, she buys nice. No, she buys nice clothing too, but she also just buys regular shit because she like lives in Toronto for 7
I think
years.
that's a
And
lie.
she's an American.
I think that's
no,
a-
no, she definitely shops. No, but no, she has like designer clothing too. But she talks about like what she
Yeah,
likes in
she's
Toronto.
just trying to like be relatable and stuff.
Yeah, no, but she's actually very down to earth because she grew up
Yeah.
like lower middle class. She's from LA, right? So she's like, yeah, I like Aritzia, and then she's like, I like going to Toronto, and like her profile of what she likes. She likes she now she mostly hangs out with Soho House and other places because she's a celebrity. But her profile was like. She's not like a super rich person. She's like a high income earner, but she's not like a super rich person or anything. But it was just very compared to Prince Harry's life, where he's worth like fucking $50 million, but
Yeah.
by the time he was born,
Yeah.
like in the book, like when he was trying to court Meghan Markle, he's just like, okay, let's go on vacation because I really like you. He's like, where do you want to go? He's like, let's go camping in Botswana for like 2 straight weeks. So he takes her to fucking Botswana, and they have like Sherpas, and they're like,
Why Botswana?
Because he's
Because
okay.
they can.
No, because he actually spent a ton of time there camping because like that's his private vacation spot.
Yeah, that's so fucked up.
No, he likes it
Probably
because
sick.
there's
Probably-
no.
They probably got shit we can't even imagine.
No, the royal
Yeah,
family should stay the fuck out of Africa, to be
Yeah,
quite frank.
yeah,
They should
yeah.
stay the fuck out of Africa completely. All of them completely should
No,
stay
no,
the
no,
fuck out of
no,
it.
no, he spent a lot. No,
Yeah.
he's traveled Africa like really heavily.
He should not,
Like,
bro.
All of his
He should
vacation
get
They
Why?
look like shoot endangered
Do you know
animals.
what they
Yeah,
did
no,
to
no,
fucking
no, no,
Africa? Do
yeah.
you know what that fucking family did to that fucking continent? bro?
Yeah, dude, it's right. It's that.
Everyone like praises the queen because
Who?
You're in public service. This is your job. This
Yo.
is what you get paid to do. This is like you're getting paid to do that. Everyone's
They
like
stole
praising-
the wealth
what
from,
the
like,
fuck do
every
they even
fucking
do?
country.
They
They stole-
literally
Yeah.
don't do
You know,
shit.
no, no,
they're the
The
worst human
money
beings
that they have,
possible.
They don't
Yeah.
do shit.
Yeah,
No,
they're the
no,
worst.
but Prince Harry's a good guy, man. When he's in Botswana now, dude, he's doing anti-poaching. He's actually like a conservation. Dude, he puts his ass up.
They
No,
could solve world
No,
hunger.
because he's actually very. He didn't do shit.
No,
He was born. No, I'm reading his book right now, man. He didn't.
Yeah.
He personally has not done anything. He's actually done a lot for Botswana in the sense where he goes down there and he's actually the one leading like mostly because he he does all his whole life is charity work, right? So in his Botswana, he's
Yeah,
the guy.
as it should be.
He's the guy fucking hunting poachers. He's the guy doing conservation.
You know what the
work,
poachers are doing? They're trying to make money for their fucking families because they're
Oh
fucking.
no, yeah, because it's desperation.
Because the
Everyone's
country
poor
is
as
being
fuck.
deprived by the royal fucking family, right?
Yeah, yeah, no,
it's
yeah, I know,
The
no,
best thing
yeah.
they can do is either kill themselves or get the fuck out of the country, of the continent.
Yeah,
like
no,
seriously, I
yeah.
hate them so fucking much.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm feeling away.
Getting aggressive.
Everything's a PR fucking front for these motherfuckers. Honestly,
No,
go live in LA and stay the fuck away from everybody else.
Yeah, no, Prince Harry
Sorry,
actually.
I'm sorry,
Prince Harry, relax. Prince Harry gives. So he's like spent a lot of time in Africa. Like every time like his family's interesting. Every time they have vacation time, they always spend it. They're not going to Asia. They're not like he hasn't really traveled Europe that much, to be honest.
Why are you in Africa?
Conservation work.
What do you conserve? What, bro?
Beautiful. Africa's
Dude,
beautiful.
look, it's actually mostly anti-poaching.
I would
That's what his
love
job
to
is.
go to
Because dude, his job when you're a royal, his job like because he's only like 40, right? His job for the last 20 years has been conservation. So every time he's down there, dude, they're doing all the anti-poaching shit. They're doing like conservation on nature.
It's so aesthetic, though. You know what I'm trying to say? It's
No, well, it is, but he puts in work. That's not a fun job to have, but he does it because like that's part of his job. Is like
as an
running
African,
royals.
I would just suggest he fucks off. To be quite frank, because like honestly, it's like
He's doing good work down there, man. He's
fuck
trying.
that. Your
He's doing good
family
work.
has hurt that continent so much, so much irreparable damage, bro. You know what I'm trying to say?
He wasn't alive when that happened.
I don't
man.
fucking care.
No,
Stay the fuck out of there.
No, you should.
fucking piece of shit.
You have to judge him as an individual.
No!
'Cause he's
Fuck
just-
that! Yo, you know who your parents are, bro? Do you know what that your mother did to this fucking your grandmother did to this fucking continent? She's a bitch.
Yeah, but he's not his grandma.
Fuck her and fuck him too.
He's not his grandma, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't care. Stay out of the
You want-
continent.
Nah, man,
Stay out of the continent.
you're being way too judgmental,
No,
bro.
man, stay out of the continent.
He's trying
bro.
to. Prince
you
Harry's
can't
a
help.
good guy.
He can't help. He can't help. I'm sorry, he can't help. As an African, stay the fuck out. Stay the
Yeah.
fuck out. Go do your shit. Go fucking marry your suits girl. Go fucking live in LA. Stay the fuck out of the continent. You can't help us. Leave, motherfucking. You stupid fucking ginger ass motherfucker. Fuck off. Yo, I'm sorry. Like I hate that family.
Relax yourself.
The royal family is terrible.
Relax
The
yourself.
royal family is absolutely abhorrent. Everything they do is all PR related. They have done such irreparable damage to black people. Everything they do right now is completely aesthetic. They're doing nothing to help us at all. Oh, I married a mixed race girl, so look at me. I am so anti-racist. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Dude, that was never a conscious decision, bro.
I don't care.
You're hyperbolic, bro.
No,
Relax
but
yourself.
live your little teenage life. You know what I'm trying to say? But don't stay the fuck out of Africa. You're not helping us. You know what? You're helping.
He's doing good work down there.
Centuries of damage, bro. Centuries
No,
of
but that's
damage.
not on him though, dude. He wasn't
Yes,
alive then.
we lived through
He's like roughly the same age though, to be honest. He was not. And on top of that too, like he doesn't even agree with everything his family. Like he knows. Dude, he fully knows.
So
like
stay
the
out.
crimes. He's actually trying to do like positive work down
But
there.
you can't. He can't.
He actually can because he's super fucking rich and he's also
Okay, so cool.
and he's a good guy, dude. His entire life is just charity work.
return all the gold reserves your family robbed from Kenya.
He probably-
return all of them then.
He probably should do that, but he doesn't have the power to do that.
Okay, well go kill yourself then. I don't fucking care.
No, man, that's hyperbolic.
I'm
bro.
sorry, I just don't care.
you can't tell someone to go kill themselves.
Just stay
bro.
out of the continent then. You don't belong there. You've done so much damage. Leave.
Because he's such an influential figurehead. He's actually done. Like, do you know about the Invictus Games, bro? You know what that is?
Oh my god,
Dude,
bro.
that is,
Please
bro.
do not get to me about rugby in South Africa, bro.
Dude,
I don't want
that has nothing to do with rugby.
I don't
You don't know what the Invictus Games is, bro.
Oh my god.
You know what the Invictus Games is, bro.
Stay out of Africa. That's what they should do. That's what, you know the best thing they can do for Africa is leave.
I think like the Queen was definitely negative.
China is actually doing a net more positive to Africa than the UK ever could.
They are, but Prince Harry is not Xi Jinping though. Prince Harry, he's like the youngest royal in the family. Okay, so what the Invictus Games is, dude, it's a disabled Olympics that he's been running for 7 years. Because all he does is charity work. Because he was in the military, so like all the guys coming out of the military have broken legs and missing limbs and everything, who fought in Afghanistan and shit like that.
Yeah.
So he runs the Olympic Games. He ran one in Toronto. That's actually like where they made their first appearance. I'm reading this whole book. The book's really interesting. But
Sorry, I'm
you
getting-
guys,
I'm getting-
you relax yourself, bro.
Yeah.
No, so Prince Harry, okay, has the royal family over the last
I
1,000
hate the
years?
royal
Did they rape
family.
Africa? Yeah, they did. Did Prince Harry do anything? He was not alive, bro.
Yo, but your parents did it. Your parents did. Your parents did.
Well, no, his parents didn't because did his grandma do it? She was alive during that period, during like what the 30s. So yes, absolutely. But like obviously, he doesn't agree with everything his mom did because
It
he also was
doesn't-
not alive.
it doesn't-
Yeah.
you
And
pick-
his mom's also Princess Diana, and she's also dead.
Yeah.
And she didn't really do shit either because she was in England for most of it. And then what was the dad? I don't know if it was the dad, but what did Prince Harry do, man? Like for a man to dedicate his life to charity, honestly, like I respect the guy because like because he actually for someone of his for someone like him of his wealth and influence, he could just be like, he could also just do nothing and be like, yo, fuck this country, but he's actually down there, like he spends. like it's affected his marriage, how much work he's had to put down there, man. He's like, it's fucking, because he spends so much time doing charity work that it's like fucked with his life completely.
But
He's really giving himself to
just
it.
imagine from the perspective of an African, right? There's been so much irreparable damage where economically we can never catch up. We can never catch up.
No, the history's real.
There's nothing that anybody can do right now to help Africa catch up fast, right?
But it doesn't mean you can't try. And Prince Harry's trying, man.
Fuck, you're trying. It's so aesthetic.
No, man, that's negating all of his work, man. This guy's dude, like someone. Like, dude, he could just be like a fuckboy and not do absolutely nothing, but instead he's dedicated his entire life to charity.
I would prefer that. I would prefer
No,
that.
you don't want that, man. You want people to fucking help. You want people to give a shit.
I don't.
You want people to fucking help, bro.
No, because you're not actually helping, bro. You know what would help?
I think he's trying. It's hard to correct the problem, but it's a very long problem.
Do you know what would help? Okay, listen. Okay, they run the Commonwealth, right?
No. I'm talking about Prince Harry versus the royal family.
Okay.
Like Prince. I'm talking about Prince Harry specifically. Define it. Has the family done damage? Yes, they have, because that's British history. But like, has Prince Harry done work? Yeah. He's done everything. Like he has a lot of guilt.
He's done a lot more than you and I.
Trust me, he can do it. He's done a lot more than any of us.
So convince your brother to get the Commonwealth countries to loosen up visa policy so Africans can actually come to countries like Canada in mass, rather than saying, oh, you don't have enough wealth, so we have to come in here and piecework, and when we come here, we have no community, we have to integrate in this fucking society.
Another thing with Prince Harry too is that he's actually not like a political diplomat. He doesn't even have like a university degree. He went to being a royal is kind of fucked up. It's not because he didn't want to go to university, but it's actually because they said like, because you're a royal, we need to find a job for you where you're gonna make like the most impact. So he's like, what can I do? He's like, well, all my family was in the British Royal Navy, so I'm gonna go join the Navy. Then he went and fought in Afghanistan for like 3 years, got injured.
He risked his whole platoon.
No, they gave him a position where he wouldn't be
helicopter pilot.
Yeah, that was actually what it was. No, but you know what? He actually had to fight for that, because originally they were just going to put him in the office, but he's like, can you give me like a bit more action? But they said we can't put you in a position. You want to be infantry, but they're like, no, we can't put you in infantry because if you get kidnapped by the Taliban, we're fucked, right?
Please do that. Please get kidnapped by the Taliban.
No, that's bad.
I would have loved that.
No, that's bad for the war.
Come on.
That's bad for the fucking war.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dude, Odie, man, relax yourself, bro. 2 levels down, bro.
They were invading Afghanistan. How is that a positive war?
No. They're not actually invading Afghanistan. They're not actually invading Afghanistan. No. The Americans are actually invading Afghanistan.
Politics that control it.
Yeah.
And he's one of the politicians, though.
He's actually not. Dude, he has no political power.
Okay, so why are you participating in a war of aggression against a fucking common people? That's what Afghanistan war was.
So what came down is the war was happening. Dude, there were Canadian citizens and Australian citizens. Like the whole Commonwealth fought in it. So it's just like, it was actually an American war. So it's because he's part of G7. He's just like dude. Everyone from the Commonwealth was fighting in him. It wasn't just him. Like he was like there was multiple. The French army was there and shit.
What are you doing in a helicopter? He was sending hellfire missiles into fucking villages?
Yeah, he did
That's
that.
fucking insane.
Well, no, not villages, but like he.
You guys still respect a veteran.
I just want to understand from an African's perspective how this guy. I understand the marketing perspective. You guys are selling this guy.
It's not just about the marketing. It's about what he actually did.
No.
I don't know shit. I'm just.
No. I'm reading his book right now, and honestly, like he's actually like he's the most innocent one of all the royals. All the other royals, they have they have blood on their hands. Like Queen Elizabeth, she definitely has blood on her hands. But you know what though? Like he doesn't agree with anyone in his family. He knows, dude. He is fully aware. He ended up leaving the royal family because they were just way too oppressive. That's why I fuck with Prince Harry, because he's really just a rich kid who was born into a family that he didn't ask to be born into, and it's actually been much more of a curse. So he's just like, okay, his life honestly, like it's been
this life.
He didn't choose it, man, because honestly it's been much. When I read about his book, man, I'm just like, I would never want to have your life. I would never want to have your life, honestly, because the amount of the money's dope. But like it doesn't matter when you have like literally no privacy, and then because he was actually down to do inventory, but they're just like, you're a liability if we send you, because you get kidnapped, we're fucked. It's because if they take you hostage, we have like a betting pond, so we need to put you in something. He was actually an office admin, and then he was in flight school, and then they're just like, okay, can we put you in a helicopter? And then for helicopter, it was a struggle for him to put him in that, because like if your helicopter goes down, we can't get you back.
He's trying to be the change, OG.
He just sounds like a liability to me.
He's 100% he knows he's a liability. He's 100% a liability. But overall, I respect the guy, because like he could have just been like there's a lot of royals who like really don't do shit with their lives, and they just like party and piss the money away. But he actually like, I'm just gonna do.
I like those
charity.
I like those royals. I like the royals.
I don't want those guys.
I like the royals.
Just like makes a system.
I like the royals that know that they're UK degenerate bastards, and they hang out in the UK, and all they do is do UK shit. They don't bother anyone because they understand that their family is exponentially worse than Hitler, right? They just chill and keep quiet and don't talk about their money. This guy is trying to fucking create a PR system for himself, and I'm like, no, bro.
No. He actually did not want the attention at all.
Really? That's why he does the way. That's why he. Oh, bro. That's
no, dude. Honestly, I'm reading his book. I've done quite a bit of research on this.
Why are you
guy's
writing
life
a book
right
if you're a royal? You're trying to say it's like shut the.
No, he's actually not. He's actually not even like a royal anymore because he actually left the royal. He's actually not even a royal anymore. He's left the family.
You can't leave the family for the son of them. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you're the son of the.
Okay, no, in terms of like the royal status, when you leave the family, they don't give you money anymore. So he actually forego his entire inheritance to get married.
Okay.
Dude, like, he's the only royal to fucking do that. That shows integrity, man.
Okay.
They dude, all they want to stay in the family, take the fucking paycheck. It's a $50 million. He's like, so no, why do you write the book though? It's actually to promote like his charities, which I think are very positive and they're legit. Like the Invictus Games is that's the disabled Olympics. How are you gonna hit on a guy running the disabled Olympics for war veterans? Like you really, they've done 7 years in a row. How are you really gonna hit on a guy doing
because
something like that?
His family literally created colonization. That's why I hate him.
But he didn't make those. He's not a politician. He's roughly the same age as us.
If
he was
my
born
dad killed your dad, would you be mad at me?
That's like me saying I need to hate Japanese people because Japanese people like invaded my village, and I don't hate Japanese. That's just proliferating systemic hate and racism into a new generation. That's like me going to Germany being like German fucking people fucking hated anyone who wasn't white, and I hate Germans now because of that. Dude, you can't be that way.
Well, you know what?
You need to be progressive with your thinking.
I have a lot of Israeli friends, and they keep the fucking energy straight. Maybe that's why I fuck with them heavy. You know what I'm trying to say? Honestly,
I don't support Israeli people fucking killing Palestinians.
No, I don't.
That's
No,
fucking evil.
No, I don't agree with that. I'm trying to say
you can't support that either.
Their perspective of Nazis never changed, though. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like their perspective.
But modern Germany is not run by the Nazi government. So when Israelites go to Germany, like that was almost 100 years ago.
They still feel away.
They can hate the Nazi government. The Nazi government doesn't exist anymore.
No, but they still feel away towards Germany, though.
They can feel a way towards Germany, but at the same time, too, is an Israeli person going to hate like an individual German person? When a German person was born, like in this generation, they weren't born during like Nazi-occupied Germany, right? No, the whole point is that like hate does not solve hate, bro. Hate does not solve. You can't forget the history, but like Prince Harry, like everything you're talking about, like dude, he had no control over that. He was just like he woke up, he was born, he went to fucking school, and then now he's out, and he's fully aware of his family's history. He's not proud of any of it. He's actually trying to solve the problem. Like he's trying to like make it better at this point in time because he has some power to do it, but he's not a politician. He's not a diplomat. He's not a government official at all. Right now, actually, what he actually is, he's actually a celebrity. That's actually what he is.
That's the worst.
It's actually not because he uses a celebrity to do positive things and do positive change in the world.
But there's everything he does is a drop in the water. This is what I'm trying to say.
But at least he's fucking trying. I give him some credit. At least he's fucking credit.
I'll put it this: every time I see this motherfucker on TV, it's a reminder of why I am in the position that I am. And I fight every day not to be in that position.
Nah, dude.
Don't even resort to that.
A lot of Africans think that same way, though.
Get out of that mind state. Come on.
Sure, but it's like, yo, can you just shut the?
Don't even.
Not you. Him.
I know, but
can you just like shut up and disappear in history?
Yeah, but that's why you gotta.
Why do you want to? Why are you so narcissistic that you feel you have to be? In
the thing about Prince Harry is that Prince Harry honestly never asked for any of the media attention. When you're born as a royal, this guy's entire life has been escaping. His mom was killed by paparazzi, pretty much, right? And probably an assassination attempt as well too. Yeah. This guy's entire life has all he's wanted is. Do you want to know why he goes to Botswana? Because there's no paparazzi there. His entire life has been escaping. If this guy could live completely anonymously, he would have.
Living like that your whole life.
No. He gets into the book what's actually like, dude. His life is fucking terrible. Like when you like.
I know.
His life is terrible.
Because the paparazzi, absolutely yes. Dude, his mom was like collectively killed by paparazzi.
Do you know why she was? You know why she was assassinated?
Apparently because there was an affair going on.
No, it was that. No, actually,
I kind of believe that actually.
No, it's because of Charles.
A lot of people.
No, it's because of Charles. She knew Charles was involved in the whole child pedophilia thing with Epstein.
Yeah.
She fucking hated that shit. Yeah. She was really fucked up about the whole family being way fucked up. She wanted to participate in it. That's why she started cheating. Yeah. She's like, all of this shit's fucked up. I don't want to be part of this. I'm trying to fucking leave. And that's why people respected Diana, because she was like, yo, fuck these people. I got my way in, but honestly, fuck them. And that's why people respected her, because they were like, because she was like, regardless, I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's why you should respect Harry too, man. Because Harry also left the family because he knew it was fucked, and he's like, I'm out.
Well,
he like literally gave up everything. And that's why like Harry, I know this guy. He absolutely does not want. He doesn't need the attention because he was born with it.
He had to get kicked out of Canada.
He's actually not kicked out of Canada. He's not kicked out of Canada. He's not kicked out of Canada. He's not even kicked out of England, dude. Like he can go wherever he wants, but he left the royal family because they were being racist towards his wife. You know, they're fully racist towards his wife. She's like, oh, she's half black. You can't marry another. And she's also not a royal.
Are you surprised?
Yeah.
When you fucking
No, I'm not surprised at all. But love is love. He legitimately loves her.
Okay,
and so that's what it is. So he made a lot of sacrifices. But at the same time too, like I feel for Harry, man. It really goes to show you how much it sucks to be part of that family. Like, he didn't ask for any of that. He was born. He woke up. He was born into it. Yeah. His family's committed a ton of atrocities, and so his whole life is like, he's like, well, like, I'm going to use my celebrity status for good. I'm not just going to like piss away the money and party. And after that, he like, why did he write the book? He actually wrote the book. He wrote the book to promote his charities, but also to sort of clear his name, and also. But I think it's actually mostly about the charity work, because he talks about really, because his full-time job actually is running charities. That's all he fucking does. So I can't hate on the guy. I'm like, dude, the other family members, man, like, dude, they just like, they don't do shit. They just fucking party. They don't.
I like that.
They don't do
I like
shit.
that.
No,
I
like,
like
no,
that.
He talks about that in his book?
He does talk about that in his book, and he talks about like how like the workload of actually running the charities is actually so fucking brutal. It actually ruined his marriage. It's because he doesn't have like it's still a charity. Like, it's not a corporation, right? So.
Oh my god, my life is so hard. I have to run a check. Yo, honestly, this guy's such a
he doesn't say his life is hard, but he does say, but I have to respect his work ethic,
No. Well, do they have compassion for my fucking continent? No, they don't.
No. You're talking about you're talking about the British royal family. You're talking about Harry.
He's one of them.
Not anymore, because he left.
No,
he
bro,
left.
his
He
blood.
made the decision to live.
Listen,
no. You can't hate on someone because they're born into a family. That's like almost like being like racist. That's like just because you're born into this family, just because you're born into this, I have to hate on you because you're born. That's like if you're like the son.
Because sons pay for their father's sins. Period. That's all it is.
But you're proving my point correct though, because he didn't do anything wrong, but he's having to pay for his parents' sins.
Exactly. I don't care what he is. Your parents did a certain thing. Fuck you.
Nah, man, you got like he hasn't done anything wrong in his life.
No, bro.
What
he
has
went
he
to
done?
Afghanistan in a helicopter and sent Hellfire missiles to it. Like,
to shoot the Taliban and defend the country.
You know who the Taliban are? The Taliban is there to defend Afghanistan. That's all it is.
Dude, the Taliban are fucking evil, bro. They brainwash children. They fucking oppress women.
Bro, you literally willingly went to Afghanistan in a helicopter and you shot down people in Afghanistan. You were equally as fucked up as the rest of
So here's the question. So are you saying that every single American soldier fought in Afghanistan? So under your logic, then every single soldier fought in the American war in Afghanistan is an evil person? No. Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
Then neither is Harry, because he's just another soldier,
Every
bro.
American soldier is poor. He's rich as fuck. He chose to be in a helicopter.
What about?
He chose to press that button.
Okay. First of all, what about all the U.S. generals? Okay, so like, are you saying that like George Bush is evil for fighting the war in Afghanistan?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying all the politicians are?
Yes.
For defending against the Taliban?
Yes.
After 9/11, because this happened during 9/11, mind you, as well too. After 9/11.
How did 9/11 happen? The Saudi Arabians that decided to fucking bomb the fucking Twin Towers and get fucking. You know the only planes that were allowed to fly after 9/11 were the ones that were Saudi Arabian.
Dude, someone had to fucking do it, bro.
Oh, come on, bro.
The Canadians ain't gonna fucking fight. Someone had to fucking manage the situation in Afghanistan. It was a fucking global war, and someone had to fucking do it, or they'd probably keep bombing the rest of the country, man.
I am not gonna indict poor people who need a job and ended up in the military because that's how the economy forced them to do.
But it's not just that; it's also that they're young. It's because they're young and they're impressionable. It's not like they're poor. A lot of people are just young.
There's also a lot of poor people in the U.S. military, but it's not like it's a significant amount of poor people, but it's not all poor people. There's a lot of people who choose to be in the military.
Sure, but the majority.
So are you saying every single person who chooses to be in the U.S. military is fucking evil, or are they just following orders?
If you choose to.
Okay, here's a question though. Like, are the Taliban evil? Yes, they are.
No, they're not. I'm sorry. The Taliban is not evil.
The Taliban are motherfucking evil, bro.
Listen.
Okay, we're doing 2 minutes on stopping off. You're getting way too triggered, bro. You can enjoy yourself.
They had the first woman pilot in history.
Who?
Afghanistan, the Taliban, and then the Taliban came in and they eradicated that.
So let's slow down.
Come on, bro. Don't even start.
Let's slow down and talk.
We're not America. You don't need to defend America. We're not America.
Let's slow down and talk about.
You don't need to hate America.
No. Let's look at the history of the Taliban. The Taliban were created by essentially the CIA investigating the ISI. The ISI is the Pakistani security forces, right? Like basically their CIA, who basically trained Osama bin Laden and his partner to create. It was Mujahideen. Right? So they trained Mujahideen fighters to fight against the Soviets, right? Then what happened basically was they supplied them so much capital, Osama bin Laden's co-partner started basically operating in the poppy fields and started selling like what would be later on like meth or other derivatives of poppy.
It's heroin.
So Osama bin Laden being a fundamental Islamist was like, yo, that's fucked up.
Yep.
I don't agree with this at all.
Yep,
I
right.
need to get back to actual, like, you know, Islam, right?
Yeah.
So he went back to Saudi Arabia,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's
okay.
right.
Yo, so
Yeah.
he went back to.
And then he went and he fucking flew some planes into fucking some towers in New York, which is evil.
After being trained and funded by the CIA.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the Taliban being evil? Let's talk about the
But
fucking.
then that goes back to your case where if you join the war, then you're evil. But those Talibans chose to drive the plane in the fucking thing, so then why are they not evil?
No, they're definitely evil, bro.
Anyone who kills
to say the Taliban are not evil, dude. The ISIS, Al Qaeda.
Of course not. War is you're fighting. You got millions of people fighting for the ideals of like the top 1%.
So I'm gonna.
I'm not defending that, but like.
So we wanted to talk about difficult topics on this podcast.
Anyone who.
So I'm gonna defend the
kills
Taliban. I'm gonna
for
defend the
control.
Taliban.
No, I don't want. I'm not even getting into that with
No,
you,
no,
bro.
no, no, no,
Okay, dude, 2 minutes. We're off. We're getting on our. I'm not getting this fucking Taliban. Fucking
Well, no, let's be honest.
I'm not having this discussion with you.
Taliban.
Why did they choose to attack the Twin Towers, the White House, literally the.
Kill all those
Because
innocent people.
they did it because they believe that the American government has too much influence in the world, so they're fighting back against it. And the American
Was it
American
too much
government.
influence, or was it because they were like, oh, the military arms
No,
complex,
it's really
the
because
economic arms
Allah
complex?
told them to.
No, that's actually not the reason why. That's actually not the reason why. No. They did it to push back against Americans having too much power in the Middle East.
It wasn't even pushing him back. Okay,
Yeah.
the reason why they attacked specifically the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, because it literally, one is capital markets, the other one is literally the government of fucking America, who work together concisively to fuck over the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about
That's true.
you want to talk about the intent of the Taliban, that's what the purpose of it was, right?
Yeah.
As literally these motherfuckers were fighting.
But you know what, though, man? They still killed millions of innocent people, and that's fucking
100%.
evil.
It's
fucking,
wrong.
That's exactly. That's my point. That's fucking evil.
And what did the US do? And what did the
They fucking drone strike these motherfuckers.
and what did the UK do for years before this?
They were definitely involved in a lot of shady shit.
So let's talk about ramifications and damages. Did the Taliban do anything nearly as close as anything what the Western?
Look what they do to their own people.
That's more true. The Taliban are definitely evil.
I'll accept that.
No, the Taliban are definitely evil, dude, because they brainwash children to fucking become suicide bombers. They oppress women in their country. They have like
And
they
to fight
brought
evil,
Muhammad Sharia law.
you have to become the devil himself.
Yes,
right?
you do. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So when Prince Harry got on that motherfucking helicopter to fight the Taliban and like shoot villages and everything like that, he was just part of like the British war effort with the U.S. government. There was he evil for doing that? If you want to say the British Army and
Is the most evil force in the world? Yes.
Historically, I agree with that. But was Prince Harry evil because he joined the war against the Taliban in the modern? I'm not talking about the whole history of like the British Empire, because like there's like they're definitely fucking evil. They fucking like were at war with China, they're at war with everyone. So I can't disagree with that. But is Prince Harry evil for being a helicopter pilot in the Taliban war? No, he was just another soldier.
We can disagree on this, and
He was just another soldier, bro. It's because you're saying Prince Harry's fucking evil. He's not fucking evil. That's such a. He's not like he's that's not evil, man. He's just a fucking because you're almost giving him like too much credit for having that much power. He's the helicopter pilot. There's like thousands of helicopter pilots in the Afghanistan war.
If he killed one Afghan, if he killed even one Afghan,
dude, collateral damage in a war is like you can't. That's such a low bar to have because collateral damage. Dude, millions of people get killed, bro.
So why participate in it when you can just be a rich piece of shit, and just get drunk in the UK and not do shit?
Well, ask that to everyone else that ever fought.
The reason he did it is because
Because of what?
because he believed he was doing the right thing and he wanted to support. First of all, he was trained. He's a fallen military soldier, so I think he's actually British SAS. So he actually trained. He went through the whole training process, and then if part of being a soldier in the war, he signed up to be a soldier. And if you think that's unethical, like you can have that opinion, but like, do I think Prince Harry? But I can't say that because that's like saying like, dude, like fucking Bear Grylls and shit. I think fought in Afghanistan. Is he evil?
Sure. Yeah.
If you want to say every British soldier who fought in Afghanistan is evil, you can have that opinion. But like, I don't have that opinion because because all I gotta say is that I didn't fight in that fucking. Canadians fought in that war. Did every Canadian citizen who fought in Afghanistan, are they fucking evil?
Sorry, what?
Did every Canadian citizen who fought in, we sent soldiers too, right?
If you are poor and you need a job, and the only job that happens to be there for you because the economy dictates it is for you to be a soldier, I cannot dictate your morality. However, if you are a wealthy individual who willfully chooses to be in a fucking war machine and send literally things that are called hellfire missiles into villages, yo, you are a piece of shit. And you deserve to be in hell.
I think what it comes down to, man, is that like these soldiers decide to do this type of shit, man. Like, I get what you're saying. It's just like, is following orders evil? Like, if you work for the Nazi government and you're following orders, did you still commit crimes? Probably. Do I disagree with the war in Afghanistan? Someone had to do it.
Oh my god.
Dude, what would happen if they didn't retaliate? Dude, the U.S. government is a monopoly on
Afghanistan.
What would happen if the U.S. government did not retaliate against Afghanistan? What would happen? What would actually happen?
Nothing, because Afghanistan.
No. They need to do something. Dude, they needed to find Osama, bro.
So,
they needed to find Osama, man.
They created Osama.
They created him, and they needed to destroy him because he got too fucking evil.
He wasn't in Afghanistan. He was not in Afghanistan. He was never in Afghanistan.
They had to figure that out by invading Afghanistan, and then they found him in Pakistan after. But they needed. But you know what was in Afghanistan? The Taliban were in Afghanistan as well.
Yeah, because they trained them.
Exactly. So they need to go to Afghanistan to exterminate the Taliban, and then they didn't train they trained Osama. They didn't train the Taliban.
No, they trained the Taliban. They trained the Mujahideen.
They gave them weapons. And I think they gave them I personally the whole CIA giving them thing that is a conspiracy theory, but I actually do agree with you that they probably did give them money. We do have evidence of that. I think so.
I can't confirm this, right? Because obviously I don't have the hard data, but there's actually not theories. There's actually a solid amount of stories that point to the fact that Osama was literally brought to the U.S. to be trained.
I actually do believe he was, because I also read his book as well too. So in my opinion, he did receive U.S. training. No, but the whole point beyond that is that he got out of control. They trained him. He has a CIA operator. They got him fucking control, and then they needed to fucking kill him. So it's but you know what though? That's just the U.S. government fucking taking responsibility for what they fucking did, because they fucked up, and then they're like, all right, well, if we don't fucking solve this, guy's gonna keep planning fucking nuclear strikes against the U.S.
Did you know Afghanistan's called the graveyard of kingdoms? Did anyone know that?
Yeah, no, because every global power that's gone in there has fucking
fails. Exactly. So you know what? If anyone knows any history or IR, they should have been like, yo, Russia, when they go into Afghanistan, they're gonna fail.
Yeah,
let it be.
The British Empire failed.
Let them be. They chose to train terrorists to fucking fight.
Yeah, they fucked up, and now they have to deal with it. So how do you deal with that? You gotta start a war.
That's fucking insane. But
but war is not a rational thing, bro.
Meanwhile, now you have fucking literally in Kenya, you have literally the Al-Shabaab fucking literally doing terrorist attacks in malls in Kenya.
Yeah, they should send some help.
From who?
Whoever has enough resources, which is typically the U.S. government.
Because the U.S. gives money to Saudi, and the next thing you know, Al-Shabaab attacks Kenya. So I don't want to hear about fucking anything the U.S. or the West can do for the rest of the fucking world. Because it seems everything that they touch is fucking disgusting. The same thing with the U.K. All these motherfuckers are fucking terrible. Just stop. That's the biggest thing. Just stop.
Well, here's a question right now then. So the U.S. government now is essentially funding the Ukraine war.
Yeah, exactly.
But what is the consequence if they don't? Russia's gonna take over Ukraine?
Whoa! Okay.
Is that what you want?
Okay,
Russia cannot take over fucking Ukraine, bro.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this right now, okay? Do you remember 2014? Do you remember, so there was a couple of those two treaties that happened. Minsk. The Minsk Treaty. So the first Minsk Treaty happened where basically Russia, at the time, asked the Western entities to say, hey, we understand that the USSR is over, but we don't want you guys coming into these countries because we understand if you do that, you're basically trying to impeach on our land, right? So Minsk 1 was actual agreement. The Western entities literally defiled Minsk 1 because they said, well, we didn't have it in writing. It was a verbal agreement, so we don't give a fuck. So we're just going to put it here. So they actually did Minsk 2.
Okay, let's go like the original point. My original point here was that, do you think with Ukraine without American support would fail?
The Ukraine war is bullshit. Straight up, it's fucking bullshit.
Stop ducking the question. Answer my question. The question is, what would happen if the U.S. government did not give money to Ukraine? They wouldn't have money to fight their war.
Russia would have left Ukraine alone.
No, man.
Yes,
we're taking over Ukraine because they want their motherfucking ports, bro.
They're taking over Ukraine because NATO wants to fucking impede on fucking Russian land, period. That's what it comes down to.
No, I disagree.
I'm not about any of this fucking propaganda.
I disagree with that. That's a hot take.
Imagine.
Okay, you know what? That topic, we're not talking, fuck this topic.
Okay,
Justin, give me our fucking topic. You're whack, Odie. Fuck your topic, bro. You're fucking whack. Fuck your topic. Okay, Justin, give me our topic. Justin, give me our topic, man. This topic's fucking whack, bro. I'm not getting into this. All right, Justin, have you written topics out?
Topic. I don't know. I was zoning out.
Exactly. That's why we don't get enough. That's why we don't get enough fucking retard topics with fucking Odie.
What?
Yeah. These are retard topics, bro.
These are retard topics.
Yes.
It's a retarded topic that the U.S. was infringing on fucking Russian land by going to Ukraine. It's a retarded topic. Zelensky is literally an actor.
I'm not.
It's a retarded topic.
Calm down. I'm not talking about
Western Ukraine operating ethnic cleansing in the East and actually
calm down. I'm not having a conversation with you, bro.
Okay, cool.
I'm not no conversation.
Sure, whatever.
Next topic. I'm having this conversation with you, bro.
Let's
Next
not,
topic, I'm having this conversation with
let's
you.
not talk about facts. Anyhow, so the other day I was watching Powerpuff Girls,
Sure, go ahead.
and I was sort of thinking about how the fact that like
Why were you watching Powerpuff Girls?
I wasn't. I'm just trying to fucking get off this shit.
I have this fucking topic, bro.
Yeah.
No fucking
on,
yelling on the
guys.
podcast.
Politics are fucking horrific.
You don't talk about politics or religion.
No, we can talk about politics. I'm just not getting in these fucking tunnels.
This is
We
easy.
can talk about religion too. I just want to get into fucking tunnels about it.
Yeah, the Ukraine's fucking difficult. But so, okay, hold on.
No yelling on the podcast.
Ice Spice.
You know about fucking Ice Spice?
I don't.
What's your opinion on Ice Spice?
I don't even know who Ice Spice is. That's a fucked up part.
She's a female rapper. She's like the newest female rapper right now.
What does Ice Spice do?
Rap.
Sings and raps on stage.
About
Bullshit.
what?
Stupid shit.
About party shit, probably.
What do you think about female rappers?
I think they do a good job, bro. We need more of them.
They sell.
I think they contribute to the war in Ukraine. I'm fucking around. Yeah, just
Fucking hurry, bro. That's fucking wacky.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna get going soon. I gotta eat.
Okay, no. Sorry, got heat. We're gonna slow things down. Never talk about politics on podcasts. They get out of hand. Try to say. So the other day, I was walking down King Street, and I ran into a broker I used to know, and it was really interesting because he seemed very happy. And I wonder how happy he is because basically he used to push a lot of really shit deals, like extremely shit deals.
Real estate or investments?
Sorry?
Real estate or investments?
They were investments, but they were like in you consider them venture investments, right? But into really bullshit companies, like for example, that flying car.
Sounds like a great idea.
I'm never gonna have flying cars, man. Never gonna have flying cars.
I agree. So it's like, why would you create an investment opportunity for a flying car?
Honestly, there's a lot of VCs days.
Unless they had radar
You just hype your startup.
trajectory.
They're just hyping their startup to raise funding, and I'm starting to realize how much hype there is around like funding shit.
Yeah.
You know, like and all the VCs just want to partner on somewhere.
The UK government's evil. The Ukraine war is evil. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna get going though.
Oh my
I'm starving.
God.
I need to eat.
All right. Well, sorry, Sini.
Don't
Right,
apologize.
yeah.
Apologize for what? What are you apologizing for?
I feel like this took a hard veer.
I don't give a shit. That's entertaining, baby. That's show's business. There's no business like show business. There's no business at all. Right?
Yeah. You know what, baby? You know what's crazy?
Starving.
This guy's on so much ashwagandha, I was able to surpass it. I was able to,
You guys are doing that?
I override. Yo, are you on ashwagandha?
No.
You should try it, man.
I've tried it, man.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
It's like a tincture here and there.
How do you feel?
Nothing.
I feel like that I would feel nothing too. Melatonin doesn't work for me. Like that the sleeping thing doesn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Apparently, not supposed to take too much of it either, though.
Even I never take it. And when I do, it does nothing for me.
I feel like there's a level of like chemical exposure where those things may don't have an effect.
Or if you need it. Like if you don't need it, it won't work. But if you need it, it will.
Eric, I want you to know I love you. I respect you. You know what I'm trying to say? Except for your opinion with Ukraine. But outside of that,
Podcast, you're fucking Joe. You're like the Joe Budden on this podcast, bro. You
Yeah,
you're the fucking Joe Budden on this podcast, bro.
Thank God Adrian isn't here. Adrian would have blew a fuse.
Who's Adrian?
Oh, Adrian's great. Adrian's,
I think you have to do an episode with Adrian, yeah, because he's like a PhD. So when he comes on, he's legit. He's Google. He fucking knows
Which one's
everything.
Adrian?
He's my
What does he
cousin.
look like?
He's like the other Asian guys on here. He's my cousin. He'll
Was
be
he here today, Al?
He's in Japan right now.
he'll be in Asia for like almost 2 months.
he's having the best time of his life right now, honestly. It's
He's
hilarious.
having time. I'm happy for him. He's been waiting for that trip for a while.
Yeah, he's actually having the best. I'm actually super happy
Where
for
in
him too.
Asia?
He's in Japan right now,
He's in
but
multiple
he's doing
countries, yeah.
a whole Asia trip.
Yeah, he's doing all 3 Asia. He's having a good time out there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Must be
You
nice.
like this? You like this menthol
It's actually
taste?
so solid.
Do you actually like this flavor? It tastes like fucking Listerine, bro.
I like it. 'Cause you know what? I actually
You like more of a normal flavor. This pineapple crack flavor.
I like put I clean my mouth with like mouthwash like 3 times a day. Yeah.
I'm going to go get food now.
All right.
And then I'm going to go home.
All right.
All
What are you
right.
guys up to?
This is it. This is it.
You're going to keep going?
Sometimes, yeah. No, we do it to run out of energy.
I'd actually be excited about that clip there. That's actually a funny.
Oh, for sure. You got to cut that itself. Like
Yeah.
The
Well, okay,
heating.
because here's a good thing. I will say this. Okay, I feel like I actually have enough respect for you and Adrian, where we can get in these debates, but at the same time, I have respect for you because I know you guys as people. That being said, if you were part of the UK government, I would hate you. But
That's like a big if though. Like if you were part of the, I mean, like dude, I'm definitely not part of the UK fucking government.
I know that's why I respect
My,
you.
my life would be completely different if I was part of the UK government, bro.
Maybe I'm part of the UK government.
No, you're not. You're definitely not. Part of
My dad was in the Navy.
Yeah, but that's not the government though.
No, my dad was in the British Navy.
Yeah, but that's not the government though.
Yeah.
You're not a government official. You're not like a decision maker, like fucking like waging war. You know.
I wage war only in my own context.
Yeah. I wage war in my mind.
Every day I wake up and I choose war.
I scream myself to sleep.
Actually, it's funny. I was talking to my dad the other day, and I was like, because he has this. Okay, so at his house right now, there's this issue that happened where basically like the builders fucked up, and they did not actually reinforce the walls of the bathroom well enough. So there was condensation that was building in between the walls. Now there's mold, right? So the issue now is basically, it's the question is like, does he fix this or does he sort of blame the builders, right?
You know, you're in a civil litigation. Good luck getting money from it.
Exactly, and that's the debate in itself.
How's the building?
Pardon?
How's the building?
The building is fine, but the bathroom sort of fucked right
You just
now.
say how old is the
How old
building?
is it though?
Oh, probably, it was built 2007, I believe.
Okay, that's pretty good.
2007?
Yeah.
That's brand new almost.
Should be like Atari on warranty, shouldn't there?
Sorry?
Like
Tyrion.
Atari on warranty?
It was a builder it was a private builder.
Yeah, so I had to tell him, you just use your insurance.
Yeah.
'Cause the thing about my dad, I love him, but he's also like just like a really old African dude, so he's got an older OS operating system.
Yeah.
He's really good at doing certain things, but I also find that like on a lot of things he just is incapable of like actually like.
That's what we're gonna be like in our 60s. Remember, we're just gonna be like kind of outdated software at that point in time. We'll become like that's like my dad is like he's like an old timer. He's pretty sharp still, but like you know the perspective like what worked in their generation that is not. Like,
It's not working now at all. Yeah.
We just get fucking way older and yeah.
Progress. New changes. You have to keep up to date.
I was having a discussion yesterday with like my friend lives in France, but he's like this Moroccan guy, and he was saying that like he's just like I fucking hate my dad, but like I appreciate what he did for me, but like my dad wasn't so fucking hard on me, like I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And then he says it's like, you know, we're just talking about it's a completely different generation, especially from Morocco. Because that country's seen so much shit, so it's just like, you know, like the generation they grew up in, even just the information, even just millennials to Gen Z, the amount of information Gen Z has growing up, coming into their 20s, coming into the workforce, it's completely different from what millennials had.
Yeah.
That 15-year gap has made such a difference. Like their knowledge base, their just awareness of the world, and like even just things like social. It doesn't mean using your phone. Like they're all going on dummy phones. I'm like, yo, if this becomes a thing, that's crazy. I'll be the whole generation on dummy phones, going back to flip phones.
I think I had a buddy tell me he's got like some family back. I forgot. He's Jordanian and Lebanese, and he was telling me how like he had to show his grandparents how to actually use a phone.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And like apparently he's saying like there's whole countries of people that all they know is how to press a button because all they do is voice message. They don't actually text, it's just voice message.
Yeah.
And
Relatable.
yeah.
So I'll throw some of this shit out. Yeah, I need to eat. I don't
Sorry,
know how you
Stevie.
guys don't eat. What are you saying sorry for?
It's 11:30.
Well, no, we got from like a constructive like conversation to like
All right, that's it. That's the episode. Camera off. That's the episode, guys.
yeah.